chill,
Is
relax.
it?
I wish.
Oh, tell us about your life. Tell us, for the people listening, why don't you state who you are and what you do, things creatively. I know you play music, but I'm sure you do other stuff because no one just plays music.
Yeah, well, I play music. I'm a vocalist. It's kind of hard to talk about myself, really. It is, which is like why I was thinking about this podcast a lot. But I'm a vocalist, and I would say my style is it's unique. It's very unconventional when it comes to the type of music that I like to sing, or the music that I want to create. Because I'm still in the process of figuring out what my own sound is, just as Iyana Brown-Bey. But yeah, besides music, I am also a mentor with Guitars Over Guns, and I teach vocals to a group of middle schoolers, and they're awesome.
Can you talk more about that second thing you said? Guitars
Over Guns.
Guitars Over Guns. Can you talk about it? I've never heard of that.
So it's a non-for-profit, and basically we just go to like different communities, different schools. We're placed in different schools, and we act as mentors to the children, but through music.
Oh, yeah.
So like I teach vocals. I do have a team with me, and we have like a bass teacher or a mentor, a guitar mentor, and there's a keys mentor as well. So we do a little bit of just like teaching music and just finding like teaching like social emotional learning activities and just empathy through music.
Yeah.
So
different Chicago high or elementary schools?
In Chicago, yeah.
That's
so
great.
Different middle schools and high schools as well. There are some elementary schools too, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to have that title with junior high school. Saying Guitars Over Guns to like a kindergartner is a little. They might not get it. Might be a little aggressive. That's a great organization. That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, but I support that. I like
I've
that.
been in a part of it for 2 years now, so it's been great.
How'd you get hooked up with that?
I actually knew somebody. So I also work at a rock climbing gym. I'm still there, but I knew somebody who was a member there, and they were a Guitars Over Guns mentor, and they kind of like introduced me to that, along with another, Add to. From, well, he has a studio. He's a rapper. He has a studio on 3rd. It's in Bronzeville.
It's not far from here, then.
Yeah, it's not far from here at all.
Okay, no, I don't know that is.
But Haven Studios, and I met him there, and he was also like one of my mentors as well. And he's a part of Guitars Over Guns. He's now the why am I forgetting the titles? My mind just went
brain
blank.
fart.
So yeah, so we'll just
brain freeze.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentor and you do Guitar Over Guns, and then you sing in SolDial. Any other bands or anybody you perform with?
For myself.
For yourself.
Yeah. So I actually just did a gig on the 26th, which was super awesome.
Where at?
Golden Dagger.
Nice. I'm playing there in a month, so.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, I saw your post too.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to that.
Cool.
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
You played there a handful of times, yeah.
Yeah, we sold out, and then as like our open jam residency, every second Monday of the month we play there as well, and just host that jam. But I had my first like solo show. I had other musicians with me, but more focused on like my music style. On the 26th, and that was great. That was really cool. So
you just play alone for that? Do you just perform alone for that? Do you have a band with you?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I had a band with me.
Okay.
So I had Josh Levine on organ and keys. Carmani on bass, and Upright too. First time with Upright, which was awesome. And then Rachel Antone on aerophone. And then Jake Hennessy, Jake Hennessy, yeah. He helped out on drums as well. So it was really cool.
That's cool.
I got a chance to express, I guess, like be in control of like the music that I want to put out there. Whereas with SolDial, I love SolDial, it's great, but it's more of a collective. So it's just like a smaller part of me.
Yes.
Yeah,
the people in SolDial, there's no way they can't give a lot of themselves in it, because they're all such great musicians. I've worked with everyone in that group a few different ways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How did you get hooked up with the people you perform with now? Like, how long have you been playing music in Chicago? Are you from here? I'm assuming you're not by your cell phone area code.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
But I've been playing in Chicago for, I guess, a year and a half now. So it really started with SolDial, but I've done things before that. Like I put together a band back in 2019. It was called Wrong People. And, it didn't stay as a group, so the name was kind of fitting. Not in a bad way or anything like that, but it's kind of funny. But that, we did a show at Uncommon Ground back in 2019, July, I believe. That was really cool.
Was it the one in Lakeview or the one in Edgewater? Okay.
Lakeview. And I've done like open jams, open mics every here and there.
Okay.
But I didn't really start until like SolDial's debut show, which was February 14th of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And when did you come to Chicago? From
2015 for college.
Oh, okay. Columbia.
Yeah. So I went to Columbia for acting.
Oh, you act.
Yeah. Yeah.
You left that
I did.
You did? You didn't anymore?
I would eventually get back into it, but acting is different. I like it. I am very much a storyteller, so that also comes out in the way that I sing or just the way that I perform in music. What I love about acting is the opportunity to build a character or bring something like to life. To bring about like realistic circumstances and just see like being able to empathize with these characters and just make them believable. I think that's really cool. I really love understanding why people do the things that they do and like why they make certain choices. And you can experience that and kind of dive into another person's backstory or life through acting. So that's what I found fascinating about it. I find people fascinating. I'm very much an observer than I am just put myself in the conversation.
Do you find that makes you more introverted or extroverted?
I'm definitely more introverted.
I can tell.
But I'm an outgoing introvert.
A lot of singers, front people, are outgoing introverts. I've noticed. I've learned a lot about. I don't have any psychology background, but after working with an untold amount of musicians and having conversations, and filming and recording and putting on events with them, you just start to see these types of interesting similarities and pathways of like a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, a singer, how long they've been singing, female, male, what kind of band, saxophone players, like bass players are by far the most, like there's a couple exceptions, but they're by far the most like quiet and meek people I've ever met.
What do you notice about the outgoing introverted lead vocalists?
So sometimes they have a shtick, like outfits or hair, things they can hide behind. A little bit. I know, because I do it too. And you know it when you see it. And I think I've noticed outside of the takes of filming or performing, they're very, very quiet to themselves. But the second like things are rolling or the stage is calling your name to perform, and you have that mic, that's like the one thing you get to hide behind your own voice in a strange way. And although it makes no sense, it sounds counterintuitive that like you're in front, everyone's looking at you. They're looking at you, they're listening to you, they see you move. Especially if you're just you, like a singer with no instrument to hide behind, then you're really in the foreground. But it seems to be like this safe haven or this place where you can kind of hide in plain sight. I don't know. It's very interesting. But I'd say most singers are not that introverted, but I've noticed that I've seen some that are, and I always wonder like how they do it, because traditionally you hear introverted and you hear like they don't go out as much. If they do, they want to be the bass player or the drummer. The people are kind of like in the back. No one knows who they are. They don't have to like prove anything to anyone. They're hiding in the back. Lead guitar players and singers tend to be people in the front, more showboating, more information that they have to display. But yeah, it's been interesting to notice that more quiet and less, but more naturally like less concerned about how they're perceived, it seems like. I can't explain it. They're not like looking for anything. It seems more like they're doing it because like this is how you get your energy out, because you're more used to being like to observe and to watch. But I mean, these are just gross generalizations, I've met plenty of singers that are super, loud and super quiet, and plenty of bass players that are. But by and large, drummers and bass players tend to be a little bit more quiet. Or the drummer might have the most like smart ass remarks, the drummers, but they'll never like they only talk about it between takes or at practice. They'll never like on stage. They're just so quiet and chill.
Okay.
So many drummers are like that, but they always have to have like the most ridiculous things to do or say.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of energy. I think drummers do, and it's the most movement related instrument by far. Yeah. And then a lot of lead guitar players I've noticed, they really, like, a lot of them can be super technical and nerdy about their craft, but they also still, like, want that limelight, like you're the lead guitar player. Historically, it's always been, like, big names associated with that, But, again, fun generalizations, but there is no actual rhyme or reason behind it. I think it's whatever you get called to, whatever you do. But by far the most unique one is like what you said, like introverted front person singer. Anybody who's like an introverted person who doesn't like to be in the spotlight or associate with like a lot of people all the time, probably blows their mind. They're like, I don't understand. Like, makes me so nervous thinking about being a quiet, nervous, anxious person, and then just putting yourself, like throwing yourself to the wolves, So being that way, what is it like? You tell your story about like how you got into singing, if you're introverted, how do you do? Because you also probably have to do a lot more of like booking and communicating with people, because it's just kind of almost expected out of a lot of singers and front people.
For me, it's more of, I don't know if it's like when I'm on stage that I feel like I can hide behind it. It's more of, I guess, like an opportunity to share myself with the world, like just share my voice or what I'm passionate about, to express myself. Because a lot of times, or just like growing up, I've always felt in the background. And when I'm on stage, I feel like myself. Like, I feel like this is Iyana up here. Because I know that singing is what I can do. I'm not to like sound arrogant or anything, but I'm pretty damn good at it. I love my voice.
You have a great voice.
Thank you.
You're like, yeah, you better. You about to kick me under the table. I love my voice, and you better too. No,
but, no, y'all don't have to.
If you didn't have a good voice, I would have said something else. I'd have found like, yeah, you're doing great.
Wait, sometimes I wonder, like when people compliment, I wonder how. Sometimes I wonder like what type of compliment it is. If it's just like like, oh, that was good, because like etiquette is
Yeah.
after a show, like, oh, that was great, you did a great job. Or if it's like genuinely, that was great. Like, sometimes
Yeah.
I think about that. But I've always felt like interacting with, anyone after I come off the stage has always felt genuine. But sometimes I just having to like give all that energy and like give so much of myself on the stage after a show, after I come off the stage, I just want to be to myself a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was just vulnerable. I was just sharing something like deep and something that I'm very passionate about. And so I always appreciate connecting with people afterwards, but sometimes I just need the space for myself to like recoup. Let me bring myself back together. And yeah. I think the more that I perform though, and I don't know, this is like a bad thing to say, but I'm probably going to be one of those artists. Like, if I become bigger or more like influential, I'm probably going to be one of those artists that sneak out the back door at the end of a show. Sometimes.
And doesn't say hi to the fans.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can't. I mean, if I have to, I will. But there are times when I don't want to. And it's not because of anybody else or them. It's because I need a moment for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You always feel that way?
A lot of the time.
Yeah. That's the introvert in you?
Yeah, it's more because like the way that I think about what, like, when it comes to being extroverted or introverted, I think about what type of energy. I guess what type of energy you can take in, or how much energy you can take.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very observant, and I process everything internally. And if there's a lot coming at me, it's easy for me to get overstimulated. So if I just like performed and just let out all my emotions, and then there's more emotions coming towards me, then it's just like, wait, hold on, I gotta deal with mine first.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, look, we're on the same page.
So at a venue where like there is no backstage,
mm-hmm.
which I'm sure you've performed at, and you're kind of just like, you're still amongst everyone before, during, and after.
Mm-hmm.
Are those ones a little bit more taxing for you?
When it's so close?
Yeah, when it's so close and you have like, there is no green room to go to. You're like amongst everyone still. You can't like hide away.
I don't know. I can't really answer that because it depends on
the performance, maybe.
Yeah, the performance, or like I like being close to the crowd when I'm performing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just always after.
After is the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something that I don't know. I'm still trying to understand about myself, but at the same time, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how I think about it. But
yeah, I know plenty of people that need to like disengage.
Mm-hmm.
Like before and after, they have to like hide away, and it's different for everybody. I've personally never needed to do that, but I don't really have. I don't know what I am. The whole introverted extrovert thing. I enjoy both tremendously, and my life is so much meeting and working with people that I don't know if I get a say in the matter. You know, it's just like, yeah, I'm alone when I sleep. I'm alone when I drive. I'm alone. That's when I'll get my alone time, you know. But performing is a weird, for those who've never done it, it's such a strange exchange of energy with the crowd, with your bandmates, with yourself. It's very, it can be very taxing. Although, like, because a lot of people don't know, like, I'll hear people complain, like, oh, I got to pay $30 to see this band play. Like, and they're only playing for 45 minutes. It's like so much money. And it's like, well, you're not just paying for that 45 minutes. You're paying for all the practices they do, paying for all the traveling they do, paying for how they have to disrupt their life to live a life where you already went home and ate dinner and you finished work, and now you get to go out electively to do this thing. They have to flip their world around to perform at night, stay out late, shower random places, sleep in cars,
Yeah, technically, yeah. My answer was gonna be for the experience, for sure. Like it's not. So yes, you are paying for that. But also it's not just to watch somebody, sing or play an instrument. Like it's as the performer, you're providing a whole experience for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with, I guess the way that I like to go about music and that I want to continue to create music in this way as, however, I just said that sentence, I don't know, but I want to create like these very colorful and emotional atmospheres for people. I want to change the environment and bring everyone to a moment where we're just in this shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay that I curse?
Yeah, you can say whatever you
Sorry,
want.
okay. I won't go crazy.
You can say whatever you want.
But I like to feel, and when I sing, because I am a person that feels a lot and sometimes too much at once, and when I sing, that comes through in my music. I want other people to feel what I'm talking about, or to just have the opportunity to reflect and think about themselves like, whoa, I'm pretty cool. I'm a pretty cool human being, individual, doing my own thing. And this person on stage sees me, and I see them, and we're just in this together and living in a moment. Like, yeah, it's okay to reflect on the past. Yeah, it's okay to think about the future. But right now, this is what we're doing, and we're pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a lot of emotion in that. Just looking at yourself and accepting, like, I'm the shit, and like, yeah, so I just want people to hear that message and think about themselves when they listen to my music.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all, there's that saying, like, we're all the same, but we're different at the same time, or something like that. Like, we are all unique, yes, but we share experiences or share just like things that we go through in certain experience, just like how we reflect on things. Like, we're similar and we're different at the same time. So
yeah, and a lot of the similarities are universal. Of just you want to be loved, you want to love someone, you want to have people around you enjoy, you want to do the things you love. I think that's why a lot of people enjoy performances of music, because most of the time you can tell, like, these people love doing this. Like, they're here doing it. When they don't, you could tell it's sad. It's nothing worse than going to a concert or show and you're like, they don't want to be performing right now.
I don't think I've seen that yet.
You haven't seen it? You got to watch, like, older bands that are kind of just tired.
Okay.
Tired of it all.
Yeah.
A little less engaged, not talkative to the crowd. A lot of musicians, you know this, you engage with the crowd, but you make them laugh between songs. You tell a story. When you start to lose that, you start to see it in certain bands. You're like, oh, they don't really care. They're just like doing this, just spitting it out to get it over with, Yeah.
Sometimes I hope that I don't come off that way, because there are times where I just, and it would be anxiety. But there are times where I don't want to, if I'm not in the best place, I don't want to engage so much with anything outside of me, and I just need to just sing out. I just need to sing. Is why I'm here, to just get whatever I'm feeling out. Sometimes it's that. But I think about how that might look to the crowd sometimes. Like, if it looks like I'm just shutting everybody off, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, just
it happens. Sometimes you have a bad day. You can't control how you feel on stage. Is it something that you built up to, like your strength on stage? When did you start performing for people? Like, how old were you?
I don't know how old I was. I don't know how old I was, but I mean, my elementary school years, I was a child. I started in church, though.
Oh, okay.
Like gospel choir. And
Methodist church? Baptist?
We went to different churches,
All
but
different
I
kinds.
think mostly Baptist. There was a Pentecostal church we went to. Yeah, and then the others were Baptist. So
I know those
but
kinds. Yeah. I know exactly what you did.
But yeah, I thought I loved singing at an early age, and kind of just stuck with it. Like even when I went to school for acting, and I thought that was like what I was gonna do. Like first, I was in high school. I joined an acting class, and I got really obsessed with this game. Well, I got obsessed with The Walking Dead TV show. I'm like, oh, I want to act. I want to do that, what they're doing. And then I got obsessed with this game called The Last of Us and looked up the motion capture and how they just basically act for the game, and they, they become the characters in there. And I thought that was so cool, and I wanted to do that. I'm a very animated person, and I don't know, it's that same thing of just the idea of bringing something to life that wasn't there at first.
So performing has always been something you wanted to do, whether it be acting or singing.
And then after college, graduated, got that, was working for a little bit, and then found my way back to music. I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because like even when I was a kid, I wanted to be a singer, but then I dropped that for acting and then went back to music. So maybe music will open a door for acting again. But
so in high school, were you playing or singing music? Or?
I was mostly acting.
Mostly acting. So how did you hone in on this voice of yours if you weren't practicing it?
It was kind of just always there.
Always there? Something you had naturally, and then plus
as
a kid with the gospel choir and singing like that, you kind of reinforced it.
It was always something that was a part of me. And I don't remember when this was, but I do remember there was a time where I was singing and I listened to myself. I'm like, I like my voice. And it clicked. And I wasn't afraid to sing anymore just because of that confidence that I had. And I'm aware that, like, I still need work on my voice. Still need to practice and warm up and do that. I need to do better at that. But I'm aware that it doesn't stop here. I want to level up, and I need other perspectives, like from other vocalists, so they can get like just looking on outside or hearing from the outside, they can probably have a gauge of where I can go next. Because I'm so close to it, sometimes it's hard to see where you're supposed to go next because you're too close. Don't really know why I was saying that, but but yeah, you have
this brain fog thing going on.
It happens a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've had that your whole life?
Yeah.
Just like, how did this sentence start?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that movie, Memento. Have you ever seen the movie Memento? Christopher Nolan, who did the Batman trilogy and Inception and Dunkirk.
Okay.
It's like one of his early movies. And it's about a guy. It was my favorite movie when I was a kid. I was too young to be seeing it. It's an intense movie. I was like 10. But he has short-term memory issues. It was an accident. He can't remember. He could like start a conversation, then will forget who I am, like if you were him talking to me, and what we're talking about, like while talking to me. And the memory, it's almost like you only have a couple minutes and the memory's lost. And he only has like long, older memories, but not new ones. But like you doing that where you're like in it and you're like, I don't know what I was trying to say.
I get it's very interesting with the way that my brain works in this world.
Not in a different world, just on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Not on Mars. It's different. Gravity changes things.
Jupiter is cool. I don't know. Anyways. But so like I said before, I'm a storyteller. And when I'm talking, I'm visualizing everything in my head. My imagination is very vivid, and I kind of get immersed in what I'm talking about. And so I sometimes miss the point because I'm just going forward, and then the rest kind of fades.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought it happened just there. You're like, wait, what was that?
It almost did. But like it's just, I feel like when I am telling a story sometimes, that's when I am more in the moment, but I forget about the past or where I was going. And then that's when I like lose my, like, what was I talking about? That's when I say that because I was so immersed in what I was saying in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Does it get worse if you like participate in drugs or alcohol? Or does it like get better?
It probably gets worse. I don't know. Like, yeah, I think it gets worse. Yeah.
You're like, I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, normally memory gets pretty bad with weed.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely ruins my memory. If I smoke, I can't do anything productive. It needs to be absolute, like, relaxed, chill zone.
Yeah. I get tired.
I get tired, too. When people are like, you want to smoke weed? I'm like, it's noon. Like and, like a Saturday or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I wait till, like, dinner? Like, I don't know. I just get so sleepy on it. Which is unfortunate because I enjoy it. It does make me a little bit more tired, though.
Mm-hmm.
And alcohol, a little bit, too. Makes sense. They're both, central nervous system depressants. It makes sense. But I can't do any of those things and, like, perform. I can't smoke or do any of marijuana and, like, perform or, like, work, engage with people. Makes me not want to do any of that. Makes me want to just, like, relax.
I've had a moment where this was just like an open jam, and I've smoked and like had a drink before, and I was cool. I had fun. There wasn't any type of anxiety or anything. I just went up on where it wasn't a stage, it was the floor. But I went up there and did my thing. But before I perform, it's very hard for me to like want to smoke or drink anything because I don't want it to affect. I guess I don't want to give anything to chance. I'm uncertain of how it's going to make me feel.
Absolutely.
Because it might not be as great as that one time. I might feel worse. And I'm already feeling like a little bit anxious and, just overthinking about what I'm about to do. So I don't want to accidentally trigger that even more.
And for your voice, smoking, not good for the voice. Alcohol, not really either. It's not good for your stomach and your gut and your esophagus. Like all these things that you need for vocals and to project, all that is not good for it.
Yeah.
It's fun after, just not good.
Yeah.
It's not good
but it's
before.
hard to have fun sometimes.
In general.
Yeah. No, but
it is, especially when everyone else is participating, like in the crowd, friends, family, even maybe your bandmates who can kind of hide behind it. It's a lot harder when you're like the only one who's not,
Well, I don't feel that way. Like I've never been somebody to. I don't care too much about drinking.
Okay.
Or smoking or it being like a doing it because I want to be involved with the group or anything. It's more of just I don't know. Like if I choose to, I will. If I don't, then okay. But I've never been like a drinker like that or yeah.
It's good. It's better for performing and singing.
Yeah. But I want to and it is fun though. But I guess I do want to like make more decisions to take care of my voice. And Like, it would be great if I didn't smoke or drink at all.
It would.
That would be great. But I don't know if I'm ever going to stop that completely. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not a...
you know?
if it's not a big part of your life, if it's not like, getting in the way, it's whatever. It's not a big deal.
But you never know. See, one thing I always think about, though, you never know when that one time will affect you in a negative way.
Yeah, I mean, it takes experience to know that,
or...
Mm-hmm. It takes, like, I have drank enough times to know when I should and shouldn't do it and how far to go. Like, especially what kind, like, you drink enough, you know exactly if it's wine, if it's beer, if it's bourbon, if it's this or that. It's like, I won't do shots of alcohol. It's like not my thing because I don't do them and they get you intoxicated so fast that I don't know like how the night's gonna go if I do like 4 or 5 shots. I sip, liquor if I do it, and I can control. I know what's gonna happen. It's just gonna be a chill experience the whole time. But yeah, I don't really drink much when I perform. Maybe a couple beers, but I'm always kind of like in the background. I'm not singing. I'm just playing an instrument. But it does get in the way. I have been more messy on guitar when I had a couple beers, But it's a huge part of the culture. I mean, most musicians get paid in alcohol. It's like, or at least some tickets, drinking tickets to drink. It is a big part of it. Yeah. So when you came to Chicago in 2015, and then you went to school, after that, how did you start getting into the music scene? How did you start like performing with musicians and artists?
I went to a lot of open jams and open mics. Well, I wouldn't say. No, it was a lot. It wasn't, there are people who go to one almost every day, to open jam. I went to one every now and then. But, yeah, there were some open jams I was going to on the South Side, and that was an experience. And then made my way over to Golden Dagger. And I would say Golden Dagger was my real introduction into this music community. I just noticed how welcoming, how open it was, and I don't know, it just felt very. I felt like I had the opportunity, like it was there, the opportunity to express myself or just to show people who I was.
And that's how you got hooked up with the SolDial people?
Well, me and Jeremy started SolDial together. And I would see him at the South Side open jams and everything. But we didn't really... Oh, no, and we would hang out and, work on music and stuff. And that's when I was living on the South Side, too. Near Hyde Park. But I just remember one time we were, talking on the phone or something, and we were just talking about, making a band. And then all of a sudden he posts on Instagram that Iyana and I are putting together a band. I'm like, oh, damn, it's official now. So now we got to do it. Yeah. And SolDial. Now we're here. I met Nathan at Golden Dagger during their Zoo Funk You. They had a Zoo Funk You open jam. And instantly connected, yep, we're going to be working together. Coming soon. And Gordon, I met at Connect Gallery. And that was an open jam that Jeremy invited me to be a part of. And I'm like, Gordon, he's dope.
We're gonna work together. Bass player.
Yeah, we're going to work together. And Michael, shout out Michael Alvarado. He's in California now. But that was our first keys player. Just great musician. Just well-rounded. And I really appreciate, working with somebody like him. Just all the people in SolDial, because just I want to work with individuals who have great taste, of course, but are just themselves. And yeah, they're not trying to put up a facade or anything. They're just themselves.
Just genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, they're a great band. It was one of my favorite performances at the last DZ Fest.
Thank you.
It was really cool.
Thank you.
That was fun. I hope it was fun for you guys too.
I recently watched the video that you recorded, the Water and Bread video from DZ Fest, and I cried.
Really?
Yeah. My thought while I was watching that, my thought was I need to be nicer to myself.
Why?
Because I'm very hard on myself. I'm very critical.
I wouldn't know. I couldn't tell.
Well, no.
Give me an example.
I am. It's easy for me to get down on myself and this is with anybody really, but if I feel like I'm not moving fast enough, or if I'm not as productive as I could be. Yeah. But that's also because how I'm bringing back up how my brain works in this world. Everything can be overwhelming a lot of the time, and a lot of things are scattered. And so it's just sometimes it's hard for me to focus, and sometimes I think that I'm going to hold myself back because of that, because of just the way that my brain works.
And then it kind of starts spiraling because then you think about that. So then you maybe don't do something, and then it feeds back like, see, I'm not doing it. And
yeah,
so this infinite feedback loop.
Yeah. And it's like, I said this thing recently. I see that everything needs to get done, but I can't start anything because there's so much, because I'm thinking about everything that has to get done. But I know I just need to start something, but then I can't because I'm looking at everything at the same time.
It's the danger of the internet.
Well,
because you see like, oh, everyone's doing everything, like you're comparing yourself so much. Not you, but anyone can be comparing themselves too much.
Yeah, that's the thing for sure.
It's dangerous. It's like, oh, so and so's just putting out this, or they played here, and it's like, but you're not them, and you're your own person. You're on your own endeavor, and if you really want to be where they are, then you got to start asking the right questions, not only to yourself but to those around you. Surround yourself with good people. Grind, do the work, suffer. I mean, it's part of the process, and it's fun. Like sometimes it's fun when you're playing, the shows where you're not making any money, but the performance was great and the crowd was great, or whoever, if you're not making money, probably not a lot of people, but maybe the 9 people that are there had the best time ever, and so did you as a band. And if you're not doing it because you love to do it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. It's going to bite you real hard if you're just trying to do it for like fame and money. And
I agree.
Well, a lot of people choose professions for that reason, not just in the arts, but in anything, and they're miserable. They like respect people who go into the arts, because most people go into the arts because they want to. Why else choose such a difficult profession?
Yeah, it has to be because you want to, because you're passionate about it.
Yeah. And where you are now, were you expecting to be where you are now? Is it a surprise to you as a person, where you've been performing, how often you perform, the musicians you're around, the style of music?
Well, you said, what did I expect?
Did you expect this? Like when you first started looking to play music, what were you expecting out of it? Because you went from acting to music, and although they're creative, they're very different worlds, And you didn't really know anybody in the music world, right? It's kind of just did you expect to like get as far as you have so far in such a short time? And it's only been a year and a couple months, right, since you started the group?
Yeah, it's been just over it's been just over a year. I don't know. I don't think I was expecting anything, because that is is weird and like confusing to talk about this, because I'm always thinking far ahead, but I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have an expectation of anything. Like I can't see, I'm gonna, have this many people come to my show. Like, I can't see that. But I guess I didn't expect this. And I guess I still don't realize how far I am.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see that.
Yeah.
Because I'm in it.
You're in it. The forest to the trees.
So I'm too close to it to really see, like, to step outside of myself and be like, oh, this is what I'm doing. So that's why, like, with that Water and Bread video, I cried. Because part of it was like, I need to be nicer to myself. I'm doing great. I'm doing this table's more sorry. I'm actually doing really well, and I sound great, and I'm putting myself out there. So just keep doing it and see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen with my career. I don't know exactly where I want to take it. I guess the only thing I do see, though, that I have said every now and then was I can see myself performing on a, like, well-renowned stage with a symphony orchestra. That's the only thing that's one thing I see doing. But everything else, I don't know. I don't know what that will look like. I'm going to just let God just show me the doors and open them, or I decide to open them and see what happens. So
a symphony. So like at the Symphony Center downtown?
I don't even know if it's here in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But just it's very, very blurry. It's just like a foggy image that you can.
But you got something. You're looking forward to something.
Yeah. So we'll see what that something is.
I like how blurry and vague it is. You're
yeah.
Something musical, something performing.
And I don't know if that's if at this point I should know. But that's just how I am.
At 26 years old, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you that I'd be doing it right now. I'm 33, so 7 years later, 7 years ahead of you. I wouldn't believe it if you told me. So you never know, but I will say just keep doing it because you're very talented and you have a great voice, great storytelling in your songs, and it's fun, emotional. Like the songs you guys did here, one of them was very like fun and upbeat and like got me wanting to like turn my, bring my windows down, open my sunroof and like drive in the sunshine,
Oh, nice.
And then the other one, like Water and Bread, made me like think really hard. It's kind of more sad. I think it is at least.
Okay.
But not in a bad way. Just some songs are like that, But yeah, no, I liked it. I'm excited to hear more of your music. Do you have any things coming out that you're releasing soon? You can't talk about
it? That's loading. That screen is loading. I do have a new song that I am currently working on.
Oh, cool. That's your own song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what do you perform under solo? Just your name?
Yeah. Iyana Brown-Bey.
Brown-Bey. That's a cool ass name.
Thank you.
I swear, I was like, oh, it's got to be a stage name. Brown-Bey? It sounds so stagey.
It's real.
It's real. Even your first name, the whole thing, Iyana Brown-Bey.
I didn't realize that. See, that's one of the things, because I'm so close to it, I didn't realize that it sounded like that to anybody. Like
some names don't flow for like a stage name. They have to like make their own name for a stage name. Like my name, like fully like Benjamin Arguelles just doesn't have like I'm a solo artist and I'm cool. Like it just doesn't flow.
Why not? Yes, it does.
You think so?
Said it, Benjamin Arguelles?
Yeah.
Benjamin Arguelles.
Even the short name. If you say Ben Arguelles.
Ben Arguelles. No, that flows very nicely, especially with the Arguelles, that part right there. That flows very nicely.
You're just nice.
Oh, no, I'm telling you the truth.
Iyana Brown-Bey. Iyana Brown-Bey. You guys, we're going to see Iyana. Like, even Iyana, it's like Iyana. Like one word. It's like Prince,
Interesting.
Yeah. Ben, no, it's too common.
Ben Arguelles.
My name's too common. Your name's more rare. My last name's not common, but
if you do Benjamin Arguelles, I mean both sound fine. Look, see, you're too close to your name, so it's gonna sound. I didn't think my name sounded like a stage name at all.
Right.
For a while, I was thinking like, okay, what can I? IBB, Iyana BB.
Iyana BB. That's a good one too.
But then I was
Iyana
like,
BB.
I do just want people to know my name. It's me. It's part of me. I have this thing with names because I am also a twin sister.
Okay.
I have a twin, identical twin sister. And a lot of people mix our names up. And in high school, part of why I felt like a background character sometimes is people wouldn't actually say my name. They would call me twin or call both of us twin. Be like, hey, twin this, twin that. Where's your twin? Which one is the good twin? Who's the bad twin? Like, it just felt like, okay, the only reason why people know me is because I'm a twin then. Nobody's really trying to get to know me.
Right, they're not addressing you as an individual.
Yeah. And so when I'm learning other people's names, like, I want to get their name right because it's out of respect for you. This is part of your identity. Like, I mean, if you decide that you don't, your name doesn't match you, then yeah, that's you, but I want to know, like, your name that was given to you and that I want to know what you are passionate about and what you have pride in and stuff. And if that's your name, I'm going to get it right because that's out of respect for you. So, yeah.
So you think that the twin thing, what kind of effect did it have on you? You think that made you more? Is your sister like you? Does she perform? Does she do any creative stuff?
Yeah, she's a model.
Okay.
She's a really great model. And she sings too. But I would say her main thing is modeling. Yeah.
I always wonder that about twins because you have, obviously, identical twins, that is. Same body features. I wonder if one's a singer, can the other one sing? And if so, do they have the same timbre voice?
Ours is similar.
I could imagine it's similar. It's going to be slightly
similar.
different because there's different anomalies in your throat size, teeth, lips, like all these things that actually give you your timbre will vary a little bit. Not as much as like you to me, or you to another woman, but enough, and just enough to have it slightly. But I bet you it is probably similar.
Yeah.
And probably more similar to someone who doesn't know either of you because it's like completely objective. Yeah, that's interesting.
But we sound great together. Like, when we sing, we don't have to change the note, but we just harmonize very well. Like, just the timbre in our voices. Yeah.
Being a twin trips me out.
It's cool.
I mean, like, you'll never know what it's like not to be one. I'll never know what it's like to be one. But it trips me out to be like, because I have two siblings. Is she your only sibling?
No, I have 5 others.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Big family.
Yeah, I think that was the right number.
Oh, God. There's so many. I don't even know. I think I met one of them. There's so many. So you notice like to have other siblings. I have 2 siblings, no twins, but I know what it's like to have a sibling in that dynamic. But I feel like the twin sibling dynamic is like on a whole other level. They're the same age. Probably have to share a lot of the same stuff growing up. You get, like you said earlier, you get lumped into like you are together. People put you together and you do stuff.
Get compared a lot too.
Yeah.
But I think just like with our experiences in school, like being put together, I think we've like kind of saw our own individuality and like separated a bit more. And like our mom always wanted us to like have our own thing, like not to compare us because we are individuals. We look alike, but we are not the same person.
Right.
But I would say, because I used to say, when people ask me, oh, what's it like having a twin? I would say that it's like having a regular sister, but it's not.
There's no way it is. It's,
yes, that is my sister, but I feel like we have a stronger connection, like through empathy. Like it's easier for me to let me rewind and figure out how I'm trying to say this. I'm a very empathetic person. I can empathize with a lot of people. But with my sister, I feel like if she's feeling an emotion, I will feel that, exactly what she's feeling.
Interesting.
And not just like feeling like the outside or like the surface of it. Like I feel like I feel her emotion. It gets transferred.
It runs deeper.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because we were the same egg.
Yeah,
split,
you probably have very similar. I mean, I even wonder how far it goes into like the brain chemistry with that.
Yeah.
Like, do you have some ways your brain functions? Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm asking out of ignorance. But
I don't know.
I mean, it's trippy because a lot of who you are is your genetics, but it's also your surroundings, your family, your friends, their parents, adults around you, the schools you came up with. So, yeah, I wonder, like, how do you have similar minds? Like, do you think the same? It's hard. I guess it'd take someone close to you that's not you to tell you, like, how similar you are.
Yeah.
It's probably impossible
because I don't really know.
Yeah.
But
Well, do you relate to her more than your other siblings? Like on just the way you think or your mentality, your perspective on things? Or can you tell that you've separated enough and she's had different experiences that have changed her? Like you're very just not similar personalities.
I will say, I'm not trying to say be negative or anything, but but I would say when we argue, that's the most that I feel like, oh yeah, we're alike.
Yeah.
We argue the same, so nobody ever wins because we're just like
that's trippy.
Trying
just constantly trying to one up each other,
and it's just not working because we're two sides of the same coin, and it just won't work.
Yeah.
Or it's not that we just won't work, just the arguing won't ever last.
It never
or anything.
ends.
Yeah. Or I mean, eventually we just have to stop because it's not going to go anywhere.
Because it's 1 a.m. and you got work the next day, and you're like, what are we doing?
So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had fun with that as a kid. You probably did some fun stuff. Did you ever play pranks on anybody?
No, every time
I would have done that.
Yeah, we were supposed to switch places on the last day of 8th grade. We forgot, so it just never happened. I don't think we really cared to do that.
I feel like people
will
want
ask
you to do
us,
it more than you will want, right?
Yeah, people will ask us, be like, oh, we just didn't do it. I think, I don't think we're the type of twins that, try to stay hip to hip and stuff, because there are individuals like that, like them and their twin. They dress the same. They are very, very connected, or they try to stay very connected. Imani and I think we have a good relationship, but we are very we're individuals.
Yeah, do your own thing. Yeah,
we're doing our own thing. So. In that way, it feels like a regular sibling thing.
Yeah.
Because we're doing our own thing. So.
Not wearing the same clothes anymore.
Sometimes, though, if I see her at work, and sometimes we will wear a similar.
Together.
Yeah, we work at the climbing gym.
Wow. So
together.
Just when I thought you two were just so different, independent. By the way, we climb together every time.
Well, we don't. We
Where's
work
this
there
gym
together.
Unless you don't want
Boaters.
to. Okay.
Brooklyn Boaters.
You don't want to say as I said it. This is the address, the area code. This is the safe number to get in.
Yeah, come and climb.
I want to climb so bad.
Yeah, I got
I'm
you.
not going to toot my own horn, but I'm going to climb it.
Oh, well, then we'll go.
Anything. You want me to climb that washer and dryer over there? I'll climb it. I can climb anything. I was a climber growing up. I climbed so much. 2 things. I just have the natural, luckily the natural grip strength and then body strength, upper body strength and whatnot, athleticism. But the thing that goes with it, which is most important, is I don't really have fear when it comes to things, which is a problem. By heights, that does not scare me, especially when there's safety involved.
What about falling?
No.
Oh, then you're good.
I used to jump off cliffs all the time.
Because it doesn't matter how strong you are. like with rock climbing, if you're not mentally prepared, you will not get up that wall.
Yeah.
You just won't.
That's the thing too. The mental preparedness of it is having the confidence and patience is very important when it comes to climbing, because I used to climb my whole life, and trees and mountains and whatever, just anything I wanted to.
Mountains?
Yeah, you know.
Where are you from?
Right here. No,
you just go.
my old house where you performed last year. No, like camping trips. Like
Okay.
I camped a lot as a kid. Go camping
nice.
here, camping there, and climbing stuff. And camping, when you set up camp for, say you go for a week, you have to get certain ropes over trees to build a canopy in case it rains, shade. So I'd be the kid climbing up in the tree. No harness, no protection. I never climbed this tree. I don't know if the branches are safe, but you figure out these things, these tells to know when something is. Also not afraid to get a little hurt, a little cut. You know, you got to sometimes bear hug some stuff and get your chest cut up by the bark so you don't die. And in my old yard where you performed, there was a big tree in the back. You probably saw it. It was the tallest one that went up. Like when you were on that stage looking at the forest, there's a really tall tree to the right that went really high up, like 115 feet. And I climbed that thing my whole life with no protection or anything. The very top tree,
wow.
The branch is bending over because I'm as high as you can possibly go. So high you can see the skyline. You could see the highways. You could see Midway Airport, the airplanes coming in. You could see the lake in the winter. Yes, I go up in the winter because all the trees, all the leaves are gone. So you could actually see the blue lake, which it was like 18 miles away, but you could still see it. And yeah, no safety harnesses or anything. So when I have done rock climbing indoors, when there's safety harness, it's like
easy.
I almost want to be like, do I have to wear this? You know?
I mean, you do. But that's cool. I mean,
so I would love to go. Long story short,
yeah,
where is it?
I got you. Brooklyn Boulders, West Loop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Yeah,
I want to go. What's the tallest wall? Yeah, let's do it.
Our walls are, I don't know the exact number, but they're about 55 feet, I believe, or around that area. And then we have like some 35-foot. We have bouldering as well.
Oh, okay.
So top rope
crazy
and bouldering
angles and stuff. Nah, that's cool.
Yeah. So we'll go.
Let's do it.
I got you. Yeah.
See, I think 50 feet. I'll get there in like 8 seconds. I'll get up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I got you. We'll see it when
You're
we
gonna
get
mess
there.
with me like, yeah. I'm like, do I need chalk? Like, nope, you don't use chalk. And then like, yeah, you're gonna go up that when you put me on the hardest course. Like,
Yep.
Like, do I need help? Like, nah, you don't need. In fact, you don't need a harness. See how good he is, just getting everyone to come.
No,
watch me
I would
fail.
never do that though. Rock climbing is dangerous.
It's so dangerous. I don't know if I'd ever do like real like free solo rock climbing. Did you ever see that movie Free Solo?
No, I didn't see it.
You just said that like I'm not going to see it.
No, probably not. Probably not.
It is. Your hands will just be like balmy and sweating. Like you'll be barely looking at it with one eye, like just holding back, like shaking. It's so disturbing to watch this guy just climb El Capitan like a couple thousand feet with nothing.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I can't do the free solo thing. I
mean, why? Why do it? I mean, okay.
I'm sure it's the ultimate of all ultimates, but I mean, and even hearing him justify it, he's just like, you don't always die when you fall. Like you can land on another ledge. It's like, maybe. I mean, I think it's just what you tell yourself, so you can do it. It's like, what ledges? And once you hit that ledge,
I don't want to break anything.
Right now, so now I have 2 broken legs on a ledge. It's still 3,000 feet in the air. Like, how am I getting down?
Yeah, no.
You know,
I would never.
No, I think where you work is like that's a great thing. Safer. It's fun. It's great for like, especially like in the winter.
It's recreational climbing, and we do competitions and everything there too, which is
that's cool.
But yeah, it's a cool place.
So you just like harness people in and like tell them what to do.
Yeah, so like we give them like an orientation. You know what? I don't want to talk about it. But we're gonna plan a climbing day.
Okay. We don't have to talk about it.
Cool.
It's funny, earlier in the podcast before we started, I was like, anything you don't want to talk about? And you're like, I can't think of anything, but if there's something to let you know, I was like, let me know. Boom. Rock climbing? No, done. Next subject. So how do you like Chicago? You've been here for 8 years.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's cool. It's cool. I've grown to appreciate it a lot more. Just being in the music community. Now that I've found my community.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still like working on building, you know, something for myself, but I feel like for right now, I'm in a good place with like the people that I know and the connections that I have. And yeah, that only happened like a year and a half ago.
It's crazy.
So before then, I didn't like Chicago.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you were just living here for,
I was just here.
What, 6 years?
Working,
just
school, yeah.
You didn't like it?
I didn't feel, well, the traffic's not as bad as other places that I've heard of, like LA or Boston or whatnot.
LA, New York's pretty rough.
New York, yeah.
Chicago's is bad. It's really bad. I was just in Mexico City recently, and it made Chicago's traffic look like a nice suburb. Like,
wait, where?
Mexico City, Mexico.
Okay.
And that traffic, that congestion, traffic, and pollution made everything about America feel great, and it made Chicago just feel like nothing, like a puny little town, village. It really
village.
It made Chicago feel like a village. I mean, Mexico City is on a level. It's the second largest city in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, it's outrageous. The only thing that I ever felt just as big or close to was New York City. New York City's pretty. Have you been? It's been there a bunch, and I have top secret information I could share with you off mic.
Okay, gotcha.
Has to do with rock climbing. No, it doesn't. Anything to do with rock climbing. Let's just say things will be happening in New York City. Mm-hmm. Things will be happening in New York City.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But
nice.
yeah, I love it there, but it's just so intense. It's aggressive. I'm surprised you never wanted to go there doing acting and music. That's like an acting music city.
Yeah, I know.
Same with LA. But if you hate Chicago traffic.
LA, I heard that you do have to find your community there. But I heard that for the most part it's very very individualistic, and people are not as nice, is what I heard.
Yeah, I love
Never been there though.
I went when I was 12. I'm going to go in October, November to film some bands and record bands, which will be fun. But I think what happens, there's great musicians and artists and people and friends in any city in the world, right? Mm-hmm. But certain cities have some weight to them because of what people are trying to do when they are there. Chicago, because it ends up being a springboard naturally for people to go to Nashville or New York, LA for music or acting or any film music industry. Chicago doesn't really have that issue because people will leave here to go to those places where those issues can exist. It doesn't really have one. It actually it has like, there's not like a disingenuous bone in its core, in its body, because mostly a lot of people come here for school, like yourself, like my roommate Trevor. A lot of my friends I've made came here for school. Mm-hmm. And then they stay because they like the music scene, the food, the culture. Or maybe they want to go to graduate school. They like the architecture. They like the history. They like that it's not so cutthroat in the industries like New York and LA. Mm-hmm. New York and LA, when you get to New York and LA, that's the end of the road. It's like you're not trying to go anywhere else beyond. Like that's where you go to make it. And it's more expensive. It's more intense. I think their music scenes don't overlap and intertwine as much. Mostly based on the geography. There's a geography secret to it as well. The geography of New York is very difficult to go across. Like you were coming from Humboldt Park today to here. Mm-hmm. Even with bad traffic, that's still only ever going to take you, 30, 40 minutes at most? Mm-hmm. Probably 30. It's not that far. And you can take some side streets. If you lived in the Upper West Side of Manhattan and I was in the east side of Brooklyn, we might only be 7 miles from each other. Kind of like where you and I are. We're probably 7 miles from each other. But it might take 2 hours instead of 30 minutes. Geez. So if you're like, hey, I'm playing a show tonight in Bridgeport and you're in Humboldt Park, you're going to be like, yeah, I could go to that, especially at night. Traffic dies. Okay, 20 minutes, I'll be there. You're in New York and like, hey, I'm playing a show someplace in, at the south end of Brooklyn. People are like, I'm not. That's 3 different train transfers. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm not going. If I do drive, forget about it. It might take me hours to get there. And when I get there, there's no parking. because the city's overpopulated, so it's hard to even find parking when you do get there. Chicago, parking is hard to find, but not really. You will find
one
you will
spot.
find
You'll
it.
find it.
You will find it.
You just got to keep looking.
Like where I live is great. Parking is amazing. You got here when everyone's already home and there were still spots. That's how good the parking is on my block. So I got lucky. And then LA, again, 20 million people. It's hard to travel across it to go do stuff. So the communities get a little bit more small and smaller. And then there is not that many core people there to build up industries. By industries, I mean like smaller music scenes within their industry, because they're all transplants. Like everybody's transplants in New York, LA. Chicago, a lot of people are transplants, but there's a lot of people who are from here. I'm from here. I mean, I grew up right outside of it, but I have spent so much time in Chicago. I know everything about it. I went to school here, worked here, friends here, spent all my 20s here, shows, performed, you name it. It's like, it is my home. And I know a lot of people who are still from Chicago, at least the Chicagoland area, because their parents are once from Chicago. They just moved to the suburbs, in the 80s or 90s. But any person I've ever met, air quotes, from New York or LA is not from New York or LA. Like, nobody. And I've met a lot of people from those areas, which is fine. You go there. Further proving the point, like, you go. And when you go somewhere, you got to start a new thing because you're new there. So you might not know people that have been involved in it for a bit, and they're trying to get to the next thing and to the next thing. So you can get a little bit more, I don't know if using each other is the right word, but you might not get as much of a genuine.
Very competitive.
Yeah, it's just more competitive. It's just part of it. And in Chicago, it's like, you probably get some competitive people, but it seems like everyone's just trying to like help each other out, lift each other up, hook each other up. Oh, he can't play with that show, but you want to like fill in for them, or want to do this, or like,
because we're all feels like we're. I mean, yes, there are people on different levels like of experience, but at the same time, it feels like we're all just we have the same goal. Yeah, and it feels more like a community here, which I like. I've always been somebody in search of community or just like togetherness or just I don't know, not feeling alone in this world, and we're just doing this shit together. Yeah. So I've always searched for that. So LA, I don't know. Yeah. I know I'm still gonna have ties. Like once I move out of Chicago, I don't know where yet, but I'm still gonna have ties to Chicago. Like I want to own a building here and a business, and around oriented around music and community. So.
I like that.
Yeah, so
I want to do something similar. Progress. Yeah. You just want to do like a music venue, or?
I want to. Well, we can talk about it later. We
got some stuff to talk about off mic. I got a lot of equipment I've been trying to find a home for, because I don't have a festival in my backyard anymore, but I have a lot of gear, and I'm like, I could start a venue with how much equipment I have, and I know how to do all that stuff, but it's expensive in Chicago to have a building and rent out a building, and all the code and all the rules and permits.
See, all that stuff I gotta look into.
It's not easy. I mean, as it needs to be because of fire code and safety. There's so many rules and laws, and you need them. But man, you gotta have a lot of money to get over that hurdle. To be honest, it's not easy, especially if you want to do liquor. Liquor license. Oh my God. It's a lot of money. And then you have other protocols that get involved once there's liquor. But, yeah, I mean, the South Side needs some music venues, There's not many. The North and Northwest Side are littered with them, which is great. There's more than enough around the whole North and Northwest Side. But the South Side, it's like beyond Reggie's on State Street. I don't know of many. Or, I mean, there's SolDial Hall in Pilsen, but that's a little bit bigger.
Promontory and Hyde Park.
Promontory. It's harder to get smaller bands. The South Side needs like a sub-T, B Kitchen type, where like anybody can play. You do
and I don't know bands.
There is definitely not anything like that.
But I will say also, like, I've lived on the South Side for, I think it was like 5 years. But I would always just go to work. I would go back home to sleep. But I was always working in the West
neighborhood?
Loop. I I think it's South Shore. People have told me that like that's not South Shore, but
What
like
were some of the
67th
streets?
and like Dorchester or 68th and Cornell.
It's definitely not Hyde Park.
It's not. It's like 8 minutes away from Hyde Park.
Yeah, it's too far east to be. It's not
Yeah.
Inglewood. It's not.
So like, wouldn't it be South Shore?
I don't know. I have to look into it. I don't know those deeper South Side neighborhoods names
Okay.
that well. Yeah.
Or Washington? No, not Washington Park.
Washington Park.
I don't know.
I love how you lived
I
there
don't
for 5
know.
years. Like, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
a place above my head. Yeah, it's the South Side needs more venues, and I'm willing to. For those listening, if you want to start a venue, hit me up. I got the gear. I definitely got the knowledge and experience, and it's really just money. You need the money to do it. It's so expensive. But there's just not, there aren't venues like that. There's so many dive bars and cool spots all over Chicago, but not many south. We need one. We gotta figure
There
it out.
just need to be more investment into like just the South Side and in Black communities, especially communities of color. Like, yeah, there's not enough support. So
It's a whole issue, eh? And it when I go to neighborhoods that are prominent Black neighborhoods, you see so many of the things that lead like the economic struggle that doesn't build up a neighborhood. It's like I don't see banks, you know, I don't see a lot of them.
yeah,
You see more like a check in the cash isn't going to do you anything for your neighborhood. You need banks, you need money. And then the industry, like the economic industry of certain foods, it's like you don't see a nice sit-down restaurant. You see a fast food. It's like that's not going to help. There's so many things, you know, that people can do something
and there are
about.
pockets of those.
Yeah.
But like Hyde Park would be.
Yeah, well, Hyde Park's got University of Chicago, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Hyde Park has University of Chicago money. So don't let it fool you. They got a couple $1 billion endowment. It's one of the best universities in the world. And that's why Hyde Park is got so much, you know. But then it's like this little island, you know, and it's very obvious why it's so nice. It's the same thing with a lot of universities. Like when you go to any small town that has a university, it's like you'll see mansions. It's where like the administration live or the president of the university, even some high-end professors. But then, yeah, you can go a little bit further out and you'll be like rural area where like people don't have any money or anything. It's right next to an institution people learn. Yeah, Chicago upsets me with that. I see how much industry and economic growth there is in certain areas, and then I drive a couple blocks, not even far from where I live now. And I'm like, how is this the juxtaposition? Like, how do you have this and that on top of each other? And no one's...
How is Bronzeville, though? Bronzeville has a lot. Right?
It has, I think, areas that are nicer than others. I think it's like kind of in the middle right now. I think it's growing and getting better, getting nicer. Yeah, but Bridgeport has been a great neighborhood. I've only lived here 8 months now as of today, and I really like it. Armour Square Park in Bridgeport, it's great. It's really peaceful. I love the diversity. It's like it's because you have like Chinatown to the north part, and then you have Pilsen to like the northwest part. You have a very great amount of Hispanic, of Asian, of Caucasian, and of Black. Like, it's really like 20, 30, 40% of each. It's great. It's great. Like,
cool.
You can walk anywhere and you see all different types of people, all different types of food.
See, that's the type of world I want to live in.
I love it. It's great. I'm like, there's some neighborhoods that have this, but a lot of neighborhoods in Chicago are like very specific, very cut and dry. And yeah, it is a world I want to live to. I'm glad to have it here, but as soon as I go somewhere else, it changes. You go to, you know, what people consider like a nice neighborhood in Chicago, Lincoln Park, where Golden Daggers and Lincoln Hall, you know. It's like almost most people are just white, like most. Not everyone, but most. And yeah, it's a real tricky issue because it starts from money.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people don't want to invest in these neighborhoods and like bring them up. There's plenty of good things that can happen from it. I just don't get it. And probably some of it is because the developers are a little racist and they don't want to. I don't know. I'm not a developer. I don't have that kind of money. I'm not in finance. But it seems a little specific and particular. I'm not blind, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a whole rabbit hole.
I'm sure you have a lot you could
go down, but
you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's problematic, the situation that America has found itself in, because there's plenty of money and like we know, like we're not stupid, like we know what's going on. I mean, maybe we are. I know what's going on. I can't speak for everyone else. But okay, we're not gonna talk about this or rock climbing. I'll see how far I can go before I keep finding stuff. You're like, nope, not talking about
That's only
that.
2 things that.
What's another fear you have?
What's a fear?
Swimming, flying.
Oh no, I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a few. Well, 2. Okay, I don't like ants. I do not like
uncles?
ants. Uncles? Okay. All right. Get out of here. Wow.
Oh my God. I'm done. No more dad jokes. I had to get that one out.
That was
Your
good.
face,
That was pretty good.
For those listening, her face, she was so confused and then had to like say it like, did he just say uncles?
I
Get
got
out
a
of
joke.
here.
I got something for you. Okay.
All right.
So, what did the DJ name his son?
What did the DJ name his son? This is a joke. Scratchy.
No. I'll give you
Good
2
answer,
more,
though,
2 more
right?
tries.
Okay.
I wouldn't name a kid Scratchy. Personally, I wouldn't.
Rollin'.
Oh, that's good, but no.
Vibin'.
No. Okay. Oh, you want one more guess?
No, you gave me 3. Go ahead.
Okay, so. Thanks. See, now.
Did you forget the punchline?
No, it just feels weird to say it now, but it's Eric. So.
Wait, is this what you're afraid? Oh, you're just trying to tell a joke.
Yeah, it's just telling you a joke.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
Oh my
Eric is
Eric?
Eric. Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
good. That's good. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna use that one tomorrow.
Hey, anytime. But yeah, I don't like ants. And as a kid, we used to always like make, mud houses and like fake mud food for the ants and whatnot. But there was this one time where my little sister, she had on flip-flops and she stepped on a pile of ants and they started crawling up her leg. And that traumatized me. Even though I wasn't the one that stepped on the ants. But
was it your twin sister?
My little sister.
Okay.
Yeah, my youngest sister. And yeah, that was it's like my mom had to take her in the house and it was like ants just dropping on the floor. And like put her in a bathtub and rinse her
ants? Were they just normal black little house?
Yeah, just regular ants.
They're so harmless.
But
They don't even do
think
anything.
they look gross.
You're not
because they're just a whole bunch of little dots, piles, and
I got some stories about ants. You're not gonna like this story.
Okay, tell me.
So, remember that fear thing I was telling you about? Mm-hmm. It applies to like insects too. Mm-hmm. And when I was such a weird kid at parties. I'm still weird, but like I didn't party when I went to parties in high school and college. I usually was judging the sound system and how bad it was. I was trying to find obscure music to put on the sound system to upset the party. Mm-hmm. Usually would go find a room that didn't have a bunch of smoke in it and just like play a video game. I don't know. I just didn't fit in and I didn't want to do what everyone else was doing. So another thing I would do at parties, because people are always freaked out by bugs, as you are. If there was a bug in someone, I'm just saying, it was usually a woman would scream. And like, bug. And everyone's like, bug. I'd go up to the bug and just eat it in front of everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Just to show, like, it's okay. It's harmless. Like, nothing's going to happen. We live in Chicago. The bugs around here aren't poisonous.
I mean, everybody has eaten a bug by accident.
No, this is not. This is. So it'd be ants. A lot of times it'd be ants. And ants have a strange flavor to them.
Ants. Oh, is it bitter?
It has like this. It's like a sour, like zesty sour taste. It tastes like
No.
Do you ever like bite into like a warhead and it has like that sour juice that comes out the middle, like a warhead?
No, but I know what warheads are. But ew. No,
it's
sorry,
like,
I'm not judging, but I really hate ants and just.
so when you say you hate ants, I'm like,
It's
they're
just,
harmless. They don't
they
bite
are
you.
harmless, but
They
they
don't do
just.
anything. They're just little guys.
Yeah, but they like when they get in piles.
A great way to get over your fears, you just eat one and you'll never.
No, I can't. I couldn't. But they like when they are in. It's I guess it's the whole bunch of like little moving dots.
The collection
and
of them.
Yeah, I just don't like
Really,
that.
huh?
I don't like it. And then I saw. There was like I think I forgot where, but there was like a flood or a hurricane, and the water was elevated, and so there were a lot of fire ants around.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a hurricane somewhere. I don't know, but there were fire ants, and they were like float on the water, like in piles, and that just looks gross to me.
Really?
It just the piles
Bugs
of
don't
dots.
faze me at all. When I was a kid, again, the heights, the being very capable and athletic, and then no bug fear. I just would watch Fear Factor. I'm like, let me get on this show. I would crush it. Like
I used to watch that too.
I would crush it. I'd be like, there's nothing on every single thing I saw on the show, because I was at the right age. I was like 11 when it came out. Curious, adolescent boy going through puberty. I was just watching shows all the time. Just like, I could do that. And then I watched this show. And I was like, this is easy. Wait. Gotta lay in a pile of roaches or whatever. Like none of. I was like, I wish I could do that show. I was too young, but yeah, the bug thing, it's benefited me. Like I go camping a lot, travel a lot, so like bugs, when I see them, it doesn't bother me. Spiders, I don't go seeking
Spiders don't really bother me though.
It's interesting. Usually spiders scare people more than ants do.
Yeah, but they don't. I like.
And they're more likely to bite you.
It's just ants. It's just how they look. It's
interesting. What about snakes?
The dots. Oh, I like snakes.
You like snakes?
Yeah. We used to like collect. We would always have garter snakes in our backyard. We would keep them. Snaky, Slither. We would name all of them. One of them accidentally fried. Yeah, Eric. One of them, we had like this little butterfly
Snaky,
cage.
Slither.
Yeah.
Slitherine. Snape.
So one time, Snaky number 2, we put him in a butterfly cage. Because we kept him as a pet. And I have a picture of him, like, on a bush. Because I put him on a bush. But anyways, we put him in this butterfly cage. And my mom, she put him outside, like, overnight. Like, just the night before, thinking, like, oh, maybe he could catch some flies or something. Or just, like, whatever crawls in, he can eat. But we found him the next morning fried because the sun was too hot. So he was just, like...
You shriveled him up.
Yeah, he was just like stiff.
Oh, snaky
and that
number
was the
2.
last snake that, yeah.
How did you
tell,
like, differentiate them? Did you, like, put a marker on their back, like a permanent marker? Like,
no, just the other one would somehow get away, or... Yeah, the other one would somehow get away, and we just found another one.
I've killed...
I think we had a total of 3
You had
snakes.
a total of 3 gardener snakes.
Yeah,
like
also praying
2
mantis.
feet, 18 inches. Oh, little guys. Little
yeah,
ones.
they were pretty small. I think. I mean, I don't know.
Praying mantis
way
too,
back.
huh?
Praying mantis, it had babies and everything.
Praying mantises are wild.
I love them. They're at that
intense.
time, I've only had one, but
they're really cool to like find in the wild and watch them operate.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, I don't know if it's fortunate, but I have some cool videos I probably could submit to that Instagram channel, Nature is Metal. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that.
It just shows
Somebody
like animals and creatures in the wild killing each other.
Is that a Reddit? That's a Reddit
It's on
page?
Instagram. I don't know. It's an Instagram channel
I think it was,
page.
Okay.
It's really...
I think I saw it on Reddit.
It's intense,
before,
but it's
too.
all real stuff that happens in nature.
Yeah.
You know? But I've seen bugs, like... I caught it on a camera. Like, I brought out my camera and was filming, like, bugs, like, kill each other. And I saw this spider once. It's one of the coolest videos I have. It definitely would go viral on Nature is Metal. There's 2 bees... Because it's twofold, this story. There's 2 bees that meet each other, and they grab on, and they literally start mating, which I've never seen. So I'm watching them mate. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like filming. I'm like, look at this. And then in the distance, a spider comes crawling down. It's a big spider, like probably like 2-3 inches in diameter, the legs. And it just jumps and grabs one of the bees, and they're making love. Grabs it and just wraps its web around it. It just starts, like, holds it in plain sight, just starts wrapping it. And one bee's, like, freaking out. And it has a little bit of, like,
sad.
gooiness on it, so it can't fly away well from the spider. The spider wraps this thing up completely, brings it back to this little pipe, shoves it up there, comes back and gets the other bee. wraps that up, and
that's
brings it
sad.
back and eats them.
That's sad.
It's pretty dope. That's just nature. That's
Yeah.
life. The universe doesn't care about our
I
feelings.
once recorded a video of a spider eating a beetle.
Mm.
That was cool. We sang a song about it too. Meanie Miny. We had a whole video about it on
Mini
Instagram.
Miny,
Just like,
Sneaky 1, Sneaky
Yeah.
2, Slytherin. You just, what were you doing in Cleveland over there?
it was fun times. Well, just like us in our backyard doing our thing.
Why didn't
But,
you return? Why, if you don't like Chicago? that
Cleveland never felt like home.
No?
It's I didn't feel like for a creative. I mean, there is. I know there's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. There's what's the name of our theater? See, I don't even know. Just
I have no idea.
Cleveland. It just never felt very open-minded to me. As a kid there, I didn't feel like I belonged there.
Okay.
It never felt like home. And I feel like my whole family feels like that. My like immediate family, which is why like we're here.
Your immediate family's here too?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't go back. Cleveland's very beautiful though, and I'm like the times that I have gone like to visit, I've come to appreciate it more and more.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I would live there again. I think it's just too slow for me, even though I want to live in the suburbs again.
Do you?
I do. I need a break from the city. I want to be within like at most 30 minutes away from the city though.
Kind of like how I lived at my old place.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah. So,
I was like 3 miles from the Chicago border of the city,
Mm-hmm.
but then to get to downtown, it's like 18 miles. So
yeah,
about
and that's-
20 minutes with traffic. 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, see, that's not bad. Like, I would love that because then I'll just want to go home to my garden,
Yeah.
relax. The streets are clean.
Quiet. That's why people love
Yeah.
the suburbs.
Yeah,
They love it.
I want to live in the suburbs. So,
I did that my whole life. I wanted to try a city thing. I've never lived in the city, so I was like excited to try it. I mean, I miss. Do I miss sitting out in that big old yard and it's quiet and have like a bonfire and it's I could see like a coyote or a deer and birds.
See, that's so cool.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I do miss that. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I also love like the freedom and time I have now. I have nothing to take care of. I don't have to take care of a house, shovel the snow in the driveway, clean the gutters. I mean, it was a massive thing to take care of. All that yard to mow, all the branches, the leaves. You got to rake up all those leaves on that whole
True.
44,000 square feet of leaves.
Yeah, that's.
I did that my whole life.
Jeez. I mean, the grass is always greener. Like, both are beautiful.
Yeah, you just gotta have
But
time
you
for it.
just, yeah,
Gotta have time for it. City's fast paced. There's nothing to take care of. You have an apartment. You got your stuff in there. That's it. You're in and out whenever you want. No rules.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
And I think I'm like ready to like settle. So it's just like, yeah, both things. It just depends on where you are in your life at what point and what you want to take in, and I don't know how much energy you have for certain things.
Yeah.
Like,
You want a garden, huh?
yeah, I do.
You ever have one? No. Gardens are cool.
I have plants.
Yeah.
I got my plants and my 2 cats at home, and we chilling. So, yeah.
Have you always been a cat person? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My family has 4 dogs,
Oh, okay.
but I love cats. I love dogs too, but I am more of a cat person. They're more independent. Yes, you still take care of them. Yes, you still give them attention.
Yeah.
They get lonely, but they are more independent. They can take care of themselves. Like, you could leave them at home. If I'm going to work, they just gonna have to be
They're
at home.
fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. For dogs, you can't really do that.
No, you can't. It's almost a shame to compare them. People always like, are you a dog person or a cat person? It's like
It's different.
a dog is insanely domesticated. A cat is not. A
Yeah.
cat is a beast. A cat is this little feline that just we force, like, come live in the house, and it's like, you let it out. It'll bring you birds. It'll bring you mice. It'll bring you a snake. It'll bring you whatever you want it to. It's just this little panther out there.
I want an actual panther. I want
You
one.
get a black cat, you're there, halfway there.
I see. Look, so
They're like that.
I actually wanted a black cat, but then I got Biscuit. Biscuit is awesome.
Yeah, you should get one named Gravy.
Great. Oh,
Biscuit and
that would be
Gravy,
cute.
right?
Blue could be Gravy. He looks like his fur. He's part Siamese, so he's like brown and like tan with blue eyes. He could also be a Gravy. Like, that could be his nickname. But Yeah, no, Biscuit was the perfect companion for Blue because Blue was he's old. He's like 20 years.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's
but
old.
he acts like a baby. He's my baby. But when I moved into this apartment in Humboldt, it was just us two because his brother Bear, who he had for also 20 years or whatever, but he was older than Blue, or 19 years at the time. He just passed away, and I was gonna take him, so it was gonna be me, Bear, and Blue in my apartment, just us three. But Bear passed away, so then it was just Blue alone all the time. He would get sick. He seemed very sad. He wasn't talking anymore because he talks a lot. He meows like crazy. He yells at me. He's just a very talkative cat, which also I love that about him because it's just like it's like a wake up for me too. Like he'll talk to me, but even though I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, he stopped talking. He was sick all the time. He was just to himself. He didn't want to like be held or anything like that. And I really thought he was about to go, like he was about to leave. But he was just like very lonely. And so like I prayed to God, I'm like, let me keep him for at least 5 more years. I know he's old, but I need to have Blue for 5 more years at least.
Wow.
And
25, huh?
Yeah. We going. We doing it. We'll see. I think Blue's good now because I got Biscuit. I saw her, and I was looking for a black cat, and there was a black cat there, because I wanted like a panther, a mini panther. But the kitten there, I don't know, just Biscuit was perfect. It was a filling thing for her. Like I saw her, I'm like, I'm gonna come back to you. I feel like you might be it, but let me look at this cat real quick. I was thinking about Biscuit, and then so I held the other cat. I'm like, oh, this cat is cute, but it's like very anxious. I didn't feel connected to it or anything. But I'm like, okay. And I held Biscuit instantly. She was just chill. She was just like in my arms. She also just got spayed, so she didn't have much energy. But I don't know. I loved her instantly, and she's just perfect. Biscuit, she's like my little girl. She's a cat. Like, I'm not for like humanizing animals or like putting clothes on them and stuff like that. That's just not me. But like, I will say she's like having like just a little girl in the house. Like, cause Blue is, he's a little bit more aggressive. He demands attention. And she just like looks and like watches and waits for you to like say, come here.
Yeah.
But she's so sweet, and it's just we've always had like male animals, like male pets, and so it just feels different to have like a female cat. Like she's crazy, she's playful, but she's very, I don't know, just the perfect companion for Blue. Like he plays now, he talks more,
Your cat
he's
talks?
good. Yeah. Or meows. Okay, I guess I
You're
am
like, yeah, duh.
personifying.
You're like, what do you mean?
But like, yeah, just Blue, as soon as she came back in the house, of course they had that week where like, I don't know who you are, so I'm going to hiss at you. But after that, they bonded instantly, and it's been cool. Blue hasn't gotten sick again. He's been playful, running around.
Blue's not feeling blue anymore.
Exactly. So,
he's feeling up.
Yeah.
So you're a cat person, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm a cat person. Spent all that time talking about my cats. It's definitely a cat person, y'all.
I'm like very similar but flipped. Whereas I enjoy cats, I like cats, but I always like lean more towards a dog. I enjoy the neediness and the friendliness, and that like comes up to you and he's just like, please play with me. I got my toy. Come you play? Like that kind of thing. It's just it's endearing. You feel. After a long day, it's just nice to have that. I don't have any animals right now. I don't want any right now because life is crazy, and I just want to be able to, like, friends like, hey, come camp at my house this week. I'm like, okay, I can go do that. I don't have to worry about animals.
I feel that.
But I can't wait to have animals again. They've always been around me. I've always had them, but this when I moved, I was like, I need to just focus on myself and what I'm doing, and animals will come at some point in my life. But I would like to have both someday. Cat dog combo. You know.
Yeah.
Both for different reasons.
I would like to have that too. Like I want a German Shepherd and a black cat. That was my mix. Like
a panther and a wolf.
And a German. Yes.
German Shepherds are intense.
They're so beautiful.
They're so beautiful, but man, you can train those things to murder.
Yeah.
You're like, that's the point.
Yeah. I mean, I won't get a dog until, I don't know if I'll ever get a dog, but if I do, it's going to be when I have a family and everything. And there are other people
with a yard.
Yeah. And like, I'm not the only, I couldn't take care of a dog by myself right now. Like, I'm moving too much.
Yeah.
Just working too much. And
yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that too.
No, the dog needs,
do that to them.
A dog needs more love than any other animal. I mean, they are so darn needy.
It's not like a bad thing, but it is like a preference and just lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on what your lifestyle is. And if I were to get a dog, I want to make sure I have the right lifestyle for it.
Right.
Because then I want them to be loved too.
Yeah, you don't want to abuse them.
Yeah.
Just find a friend. If you want someone to hang out with, don't get a dog. Just get a friend.
Yeah, get a friend. Yeah.
Do you ever feel at 26 your balance of like work, music, hobbies, living, personal time, and then friends? Do you have a hard time balancing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, most
You looked
definitely.
at me like, of course I do.
Yeah. Most definitely.
At 26, it shouldn't be that hard yet. You don't got kids or a
difficult.
mortgage or a husband or a wife or anything.
I know. It's difficult, though. I don't know. It's... I don't know what to tell you.
Why is it so difficult? Or is it that introvert of you that just wants to stay in, doesn't want to go out? Or are you the type of introvert that likes to go out but likes to still be quiet and hide while going out? Because there's two types.
That too. No, I like to observe people, observe things. Like when I go to parties, if I feel like I can never. Okay, there are parties where you won't have fun at. Of course, there are some that just aren't that fun, but I feel like I can always make myself have fun, even if it's not my crowd at a party. I will just sit and watch everybody and act like we're all Sims, like in the Sims game, with the diamonds on our heads. And then, like, watch people dance. I'm like, this is just like them. Just like them. But, I don't know. I just, I like to go out and observe things. I like to, like, listen to music. But a lot of times I just don't want to, I'm not in the mindset to, like, talk to anybody. Like, to have a conversation. Because that's just not what I have the energy for. I just want to see and experience and just, like, internalize it. So I internalize a lot of things. Music, I internalize a lot. A lot of things become personal. So
your ideal party is, like, you want to get invited, but you go and you just want to, like, chill and not maybe have to talk to
I mean, ideally, I want to go and dance
and
have fun.
Dance.
So I do, yeah. Okay. But if it's not, like... If it's not a crowd of people that I feel connected to and, like, conversation or anything like that, then I'll just observe instead. Yeah. Some things are surface, and I'd rather not hold a surface conversation or just... I will do small talk, but it drains me. Like, it's something you have to give so much energy to, but there's nothing coming out of it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just... Do you really think to give a lot of energy to it, or do you think that you subscribe too much energy to it? Because I don't feel that way about small talk, because I do it... Small talk's part of my life, but I take it seriously, but it's like, it's just talking to me. Well, it depends on the type of small talk. Because... Okay, there's, like, the type where, like, you're trying to engage or trying to converse with somebody. Like, with this feels natural. Like, just sitting here talking. But this doesn't feel like small talk to me.
Yeah.
But at a party, like when people like ask, "Oh, what do you do?" Or I don't know, the weather. That's the basic cliche one.
What do you
no
do
weather,
when the weather
whatever.
is brutal? So what do you do? It's like, I do what I do. I don't want to have to keep talking about what I do. I already do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like anything towards the person that asked it. It's just like, I'd rather talk about more deeper things like, oh, what's your worst fear when you were, I don't know, a certain age? That's broad. I don't know. But I like to get to know people. And when it's conversation that has nothing to do with like what you're passionate about, what you believe in, what makes you feel, then I don't know, it's hard for me to stay focused in it. And it's, if I'm like trying to like stay in that conversation, it kind of drains me. And so I'll just rather just watch.
Yeah.
And see what comes out of that conversation instead of like putting myself in it.
I've heard what you just said a handful of times from people when I've asked them about, personally, friends, about small talk, parties, why they don't like them. But it normally comes from people who are very of the introverted heart and mind. They're just like, I don't know, it's draining and takes effort and it feels fake. It feels superficial. So it's like, I don't want to put myself through that. Little things like that. It's very interesting. Yeah. When I do find myself doing small talk, I try to talk about things that they're probably not used to hearing or someone bringing up. So it makes it fun, But I don't really go to parties. My parties, that time of my life is like not like that anymore. If I do, it's a bunch of mature adults like having wine, and usually has to do with music. That's about it. I don't know. It's just I don't really go to parties anymore. I socialize so much in just what I do for work that it's like I don't need to keep getting it from a party. Yeah. Plus, I have to go to bed at like 10. So parties are hard these days.
Yeah, I'm trying to build more of a social life now because I do feel like I work a lot and I work with kids a lot, but I do also like to have fun, but with like friends, close friends and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think you asked earlier if like I felt like all of that was balanced or like if I have like a solid flow of.
Yeah, does it feel balanced?
No. So no, it doesn't, and that's what I'm working on.
Somehow came full circle. You asked earlier.
I'm trying to rediscover
my
my
shoe
hobbies.
Size was. I don't know. Yeah, what are your some hobbies? And it can't be music.
Okay, got you. I like to dance.
So close to music, but I appreciate it. What do you dance to?
I'm really good at...
You dance to just nothing?
Yeah, no, anything. Well,
music.
No, music. Yeah, it has to do with music.
Dance is a good one. Dance works.
Things that I'm like, I am trying to find time for again, and I haven't done in a while, is painting, drawing, playing video games. I suck at video games now because adult life has gotten too far in the way, and now
you don't need video games.
Sometimes they're fun, but
if they're not a part of your life. There's no need to go back down that wormhole.
They are a part in a way where I still like to watch people play video games.
You like to watch people play?
I do.
Really?
I think it's like watching a movie.
I used to love it too.
Yeah.
I used to just sit there and watch my brother play for hours. And he's like, "You want to play?" I'm like, "No, just watching."
Yeah.
Like, they're doing like a mission in a game, like rooting them on. Like, I almost got it.
Yeah.
It is funny. It is like watching. I think you stimulate the same part of your brain when you watch a movie.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't know what's going to happen.
Without the risk of, making the decisions and
I was always
it's a risk to me. I know it's not real, but I always was afraid of just dying in a game for some reason. My first game I ever beat was Dino Crisis. You remember Dino Crisis?
I do.
I was afraid of that. Yeah.
Was it for PC?
No. It was a PS1.
Oh my god.
It was Capcom.
Yeah.
Same people that made Resident Evil, except they're dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And they're just running around. And I'm just like, I'm about to die any second.
That's so funny.
But I did it. I was so proud of myself after I beat that game. I'm like, okay, I'm not afraid to play video games anymore.
I never met someone who was afraid to play video games. Because out of fear of dying in something it's not real.
I know, right? It's crazy.
That is
But
goofy.
I always loved zombie games, like horror, and because like my mom would always play it, my mom and my dad, and we would always watch them, like me and my sisters.
Okay. So you like zombie stuff
So,
because you brought up
mhm.
Last of Us and
Yeah,
what's it called?
I like the idea of. I don't want it to actually happen. I don't think it would. The post-apocalyptic.
We came close 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, we did.
It felt like it, like going to like small towns or shopping centers and it's just vacant.
Yeah.
There's like an intercom, like please stay inside. I was like, this is so crazy. God,
You went out during the.
Only like if I go shopping.
Oh
like,
yeah,
get
I didn't
groceries.
go. What did I? Oh, I had to have gone grocery shopping.
I mean,
I don't know why I don't.
I didn't get
remember.
anything delivered. Like I did
Yeah, I
like
didn't
normal
either.
stuff, like if I bought like a book or a record off the internet.
Oh,
But I went out to get food and go grocery shopping, you know.
I know what happened. I didn't eat that much during quarantine.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't go out.
I didn't go. I didn't eat.
I didn't eat that much.
Really? You just didn't
Yeah.
go get food?
No.
I mean, how'd you get food?
I mean, I had to have, right? I don't
Eventually.
remember.
You get it
But
delivered?
I do remember not eating that much.
I ate a bunch.
Yeah.
It didn't really. I don't know. Like I followed all the rules. I did everything I was supposed to, but it did not scare me at all. It just didn't. Something didn't feel right about it. It didn't. I followed the rules and guidelines of society and the government and business. I only saw people in my bubble, which were luckily I had a big one because it was my house. My roommates I had a bunch of roommates, so we had our own bubble. But yeah, someone felt weird about us. Like if this was that bad, it'd be worse, and it's like not. And these
It was
numbers
just a
feel
huge-
fudged, and something don't feel right. Something's like I'm out there in the world, and it seems like the best thing we should do is just like be healthier. So I just started going out more, like walking more. I just went walking and ran a lot and lost weight and just got healthier. And I was like, people should at least go out. And that was a big thing. People like wouldn't go out. I don't mean like going out to a bar or club. I mean like
Here's the wouldn't step outside.
just go outside and go walk around. It's free. It's easy. It's everywhere. You
Yeah.
don't need to get within 20 feet of somebody. Just go walk around.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
yeah, it felt a little strange. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. No one did, but definitely didn't feel right. But like the decisions we were making didn't work. Like it didn't work at all. So I don't know.
And now we're living with it. Like, I mean, it's part of the normal now.
Yeah, now it's
So.
turned into what not every, but a lot of diseases, viruses turn into. It's just part of what you can be aware of it, find some treatment, be healthy, try not to get it if someone's sick, stay home. Like it's just part of the lexicon now. It's part of life.
Yeah. I will say though, it was scary. Like for a moment where, I mean, like they were putting the numbers out there, and just like posting how many people were dying from COVID. But I think what was scary to me was like how easy you could get it, and how severe it could get.
Yeah,
that you couldn't control that.
Right, that was the tricky part about it.
Yeah,
because
you don't know how
you
it
have
would.
no idea.
Like, it would affect you.
Because I got it, and this doesn't help because it plays into my bias of like, yeah, I don't know, I wasn't really worried about it. I got it, and it was nothing. I sneezed for a day. That's it. That is it.
That's lucky. That's great.
I was just like, it didn't help. Again, it made me go
Yeah.
like, this is stupid. Yeah, I've always believed it's real. But I was like, this can't be as bad as people think. It just varies. That's the scary thing. It varies so much from person to person.
Yeah.
And like a lot of sicknesses, viruses, it's never going to be good for people who are older or have health issues. Yeah, no. I mean, there's no great way to handle it. I don't know. I think it might take a couple more years to see how we handle it. So far, it's looking like we didn't handle it well. I think we could all admit that.
Yeah.
But it's no one's like, well, it's certainly not our fault. It's we were
Everybody
trying
panicked.
to panic. We were trying not to panic, but we did, and try to do what the people in charge that we hire and pay to do, and they were not that good at it.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. But yeah, Jesus, that pandemic conversation is so overdone.
Yeah.
I'm so like,
There's another one.
I'm done. We're done with that one. No more pandemic.
Number 3.
Sneaky, slithering,
Yep.
slippy. Our conversations have gone some strange places since we started talking, you know? That's how long we've been talking.
How long have we been
Almost
talking?
2 hours.
Oh.
Like,
well,
we're a couple minutes
great.
away from 2 hours.
I mean, it's a good conversation then, you know?
First podcast, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, by the way.
You're welcome.
This is awesome.
Oh,
I've
thanks.
never done this.
Me neither. No, I'm kidding. I've been doing podcasts for 11 years, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I started out in 2012 with my cousin Matt, and we did this podcast called Friends of Music. And we ended up, he just wanted to talk to people, and I was going to be the producer because he didn't know the technical side, and I did. And he wanted to just talk to people about music and their experiences with music, their earliest music memories, similar things that I talk about. And I was 22 at the time. He was 26. And I was like, yeah, I got the gear, and you could do it at my house. So we'd do like me, some friends, cousins, but eventually you run out of those people. So we started getting in random people from his friend group I didn't know. And then I started the fest that year and started recording bands and having like monthly shows. So I was like, hey, why don't we like marry the podcast with like the sessions? After a session, when a band comes in to record a couple of videos, we can like talk to them afterwards and interview them. Similar formula, but you're doing it with 1 to 5, 6 people, however many people. So he liked the idea, so we started doing that, and that was really great. I got to talk more people, and I was still behind the scenes. I wasn't doing the interviewing. But then once in a while, I'd hop in on an interview, and once in a while, he couldn't make it, so I took over, and then he had a kid, and I took over more and more, and then eventually it was just me doing it. Mm-hmm. And then we ended the podcast because I didn't have the time to keep doing it, and he didn't want to do it anymore because of life. So I started a different one during the pandemic with a friend of mine called Mandate Movie. We were just talking about movies. I really like movies too. And that one was cool for a bit and did that for like 2 years. And then moved on to this one like 2.5 years ago. And I was like, I realized I've been meeting like the coolest people ever doing what I do around the world. And I just keep meeting amazing musicians, artists, scientists, doctors, lawyers, magicians, actors, cooks, ex-convicts, like you name it. Like everyone's a musician. These are all just musicians. You get to talking to a band when you're setting up and putting mics in place, and turns out the drummer is from Nigeria, and they have a law degree, and they do like martial arts, and then they also play in a band. You're like, what? This is a real person. Indira Idu was his name, and it was amazing. I was like, dang, you'd be cool to talk to. And then this person does that. And I'm like, wow. There's like amazing people everywhere, and they're just in these bands. Like a couple weeks ago, a band came in, and everyone in the band, someone was from a different field of research and with a PhD at University of Chicago. I'm like, what? And they're just like this cool indie rock band. So I talked to one of the researchers on there who studies early childhood psychology, and it was like really cool. So yeah, I liked the way that you performed, even the way that you dressed. Like, I liked a lot of things about you. And I was like, she seems like a really cool person to talk to. You know, I was right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I didn't get the chance to talk to you much, but I enjoyed your ambiance, your aura, your whatever you give off, the way you were.
Well, I mean, no, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was like, you should be fun to talk to. Mm-hmm. And I just want to get different people, I like to talk to women, I think a lot more than some men would be comfortable talking with, because it's like, I'm not a woman. I'm curious about what it's like to be you on this planet interfacing with other people. So I like to talk to different people that normally probably wouldn't talk on a podcast. And I want to have this platform be more for people who normally don't get to go on podcasts. Or, again, a lot of men just won't talk to women the way that I like to talk to them or hear their perspective, their stories, you know, especially like in the music industry or acting industry, places where it's really male dominated, you know. So I think it's important to have that for anybody who's a listener, especially for other women to have role models and see people like that. Yeah, it's just there's not enough of it. So I hope to try to help that situation.
Thank you for doing that too.
You're welcome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm just so aware of it, and I read a lot of books about it. I'm like, I don't understand it. Like, there's more women on Earth than men yet. They're so not represented in so many places. Mm-hmm. It's strange to me. I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, y'all are a lot more tougher than I think people realize. It's starting to freak me out. I'm like, I always think, I'm so tough. I'm a man. I got a beard.
I got a beard.
I got big chest and broad shoulders. I can do this. I can climb. I can build. And then I'm like, wow. Like, I meet a mom who just gave birth. I'm like, what? You can do that? And then they put up with that kid for like 18 years. And you're just like, oh my God.
There's a lot that we have to.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
It's so different. And they're both necessary and both beautiful, but like, men are never gonna understand women and vice versa. Like, you're so different. Everything about you is so different. How you have to be and live, even with a lot of similarities we have. Obviously, we're still humans, but it's like you have different lives and bodies and socializing, and there's just so many things about you. I'm like, I don't get it, but it's beautiful. I love it. Like, platonically, it's like a great thing. I think it's helpful. I think more men should talk about it, interact more.
Yeah, I mean, after all, like, I believe we all need each other.
Yeah.
For balance, like
perfect balance. Like, we can't have life without each other.
Yeah.
And we need to get over ourselves.
Yeah.
Like men need to get over it. We're not threatened. Everything's gonna be okay. And women need to just come into it. And there needs to be like this peace treaty somehow. I don't know. I'm willing to sign it. You about to say something?
I mean, I'll say, look, as long as, because I feel like women, like, we're taking our steps and we're putting ourselves into, into the scene. But I think the light needs to be shared, and I think sometimes men just like need to like step back and let us step in instead of like pushing. And I'm sure that happens on y'all side too. Like, it goes both ways. But we probably get it a lot more as women. But I think, I don't know, just ideally, I would want to live in a world where everybody's allowed to do them. Like, do their thing.
I don't know why anybody fights that. I don't get it. It's like, who cares if someone is gay? Who cares if someone wants to be a boy or wants to be a girl? Who cares if they want to wear baggy clothes or wants to wear this dope cardigan?
It's a great-ass cardigan.
Like, who cares? Like, care about yourself, care about your loved ones. Are you happy? Are you safe? You got food on the table? Love what you do? Like, I don't understand. Like, don't want to go in there and just make it, stir the pot. Like, why? Like, and if you want to go the religious route and say, because the Bible's like, first of all religions, you pick their God. Well, in Christianity, we say Jesus. It literally says, like, love people. It's all about love. Like, the rest of that stuff is up for interpretation, but we know that what isn't is the story of love, compassion, helping hand, community. Hinduism, God has it. Islam has it.
They all have it.
Christianity has it. Yeah, Judaism has it. They all have it. So, like, don't even go the religious route. I don't want to hear it. Because I grew up with that. And aside from some of the, guilt trips, way too many guilt trips, most of it was peaceful. It was all about community. It's where I got the knack for it, for like doing community stuff. It's like from Christianity. It's like what I grew up around. I just don't like the guilt tripping about everything. Yeah. And your sideburns are too long, and her dress is too short. Like Baptist, how it goes. I went to a Baptist school. It's like, what?
Yep.
Who cares?
Just as long as everybody feels loved, they feel a little less alone in this world, and we all just feel like we're heard.
Yeah.
And we're not hurting ourselves or each other. Because, like, your decision that you make for yourself is your business. But if it's hurting you, like, I'm probably going to make it my business, too. And try to, like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to hurt yourself because we need you.
Right.
So, but.
Like abusive stuff, drugs, alcohol. And when it gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a hard one. When you see someone around you, like, drinking or smoking. Or doing drugs a little. It's not just like, a weekend thing. It's like, it's much more. That's a hard one because it's like, you could also argue like the free will and freedom of speech and expression. Like, what if they just want to do that and that's their life and their business? Yeah. But it's just sad to see it as a friend. Like, I don't want that to happen to someone.
And sometimes you gotta figure out if it's your place to do that, to like say anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, in that situation, I try to give constructive criticism and feedback, but that's a really hard place to be, giving people, trying to control them with that. And yeah, I don't know why there's so much frustration and hate and sexism and racism. It's like, it's strange to me,
it just is a part of this world,
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so strange to me.
Like, why does it need to be
sexism?
It need to be.
I'm not saying, so this is going to be funny. This is going to sound terrible. I'm not saying sexism is right, but I understand why there's so much confusion amongst men and women, because we're just so darn different. Like, our wires are just not aligned, which is fine. Yeah. I think it's for a lot of reasons. I think it's for a lot of safety reasons and procreation reasons. That's been going on for all of history. But the racism thing is so confusing to me, because it's like, if you just learn about history and geography and anatomy and biology, you'd be like, oh, so because you were just over there with the angle of the sun in that climate a little bit longer than me, a couple thousand years, your skin's darker. That's it. Yeah, if you didn't know, everyone, that's it. The only difference between you and me is, like, you were just exposed a little bit longer to the sun at a different angle on Earth because you had more sunlight, so your skin did what evolution does and just produced more melanin. Like, that's it.
Yep.
And I'm half Mexican. That's why I have olive skin, because my dad's brown. My mom's not, because she's from Europe, where there's less sun. Like, it's so simple. It has nothing to do with someone's better than the next. It's nothing to do with money. It's nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with just random geographical placement.
But people just...
It's so simple.
People just choose to... I don't know. I guess it's easier to choose hate or, like, the negative things. It's easier to fall into, like, your negative automatic thoughts even. Like, just anything. It's easier to fall down than to climb up. Like, I think a lot of times people choose what's easier instead of putting in effort to get to know or to learn or understand. And also people are, there are some people who just aren't aware. They have a lack of awareness. Just have their rose-colored glasses on all the time and just... Is that the proper saying for it?
Rose-colored glasses. It's close. I think it could be, actually, because it just means, like, you're like the world's... Everything's great, beautiful.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, they could be doing that. Like, oh, everything's great. There's no racist issues going on or sexist issues. Like, yeah, there is. Yeah. There has been for quite some time. And the strange thing about racism is it's, like, cross-cultured. Like, there's other countries that have it towards other countries that have nothing to do with America. It's a very complicated human issue. Yeah. And they all have different reasons, like what started that issue. But... yeah, it's been a weird problem across cultures. Like, I've seen it, and I've heard people talk about it when they go, like, yeah, when you go to this country, you don't want to bring up these people, and it has nothing to do with America, or not even black and white. It's just like brown and more brown, or white and less white. It's just like weird. I mean, countries in Europe have these issues, and they're all white. It's just a tribal issue. It's weird. I don't get it. But America has its own unique one. It's got a very unique one that's very strange.
Yep, that's America. So, right. Number four.
The economic problems of Chicago, nope.
Work.
Racism, nope. Work, nope.
What else? What was the third one?
I don't know. Twins? No, it wasn't twins. I think I was getting there. I think if we kept going to the twins, I'd be like, all right, I've heard enough. I've been talking about twins for 26 years.
I love my twin. I love my sisters, all of them. They're great. My family's great. I don't mean that in any sarcastic way either.
It's fine.
Genuinely.
It's fine. I mean, you don't know, like, we don't really know each other. So it's like, I only know by prying and asking questions. I mean, you wanted to come on a podcast called Bending Brains. This is what I ask questions.
Bending brains. Yeah. And I like being asked random questions. Like, just what's your favorite snack. I don't know. That's
What is
not
your favorite
that
snack?
great of a question. But
And then you just start thinking really hard. You're like, it's not a great what? Wait, fruit snacks, fruit roll-ups, nutty butter. No.
what is it actually? It used to be ice cream. But
You think that's a snack? I guess it's a little bit. It's kind of like depends how much ice cream you eat. See, I have a problem, and I eat a lot of ice cream. If I do eat it, I don't really eat it. But if someone goes, "You want ice cream?" I go, "Well, I'm gonna eat the whole pint because I'm eating ice cream."
yeah.
So it's almost like not a snack anymore because you just ate 1,200 calories of some
Well,
chocolate
okay, I see
fudge
what you mean.
brownie butter love.
Yeah.
And now it's just straight up meal that's compact into a pint.
Yeah.
It's so calorie dense.
You love
I'm like
ice
envisioning
cream.
right now.
Yeah,
like,
I can see.
I'm thinking of you, Jenny's ice cream.
Jenny's
That
ice
gooey
cream is
butter
amazing.
cake with the brown,
Brown
brittle almond butter, brown almond brittle brown almond butter, brittle.
I know exactly.
I just
which
had
one you're
it. I
talking
just
about.
had it like last week.
I also like the brown
butter almond brittle.
Is it
Brown
butter
almond brittle? Brown
Maybe.
brittle almond butter. Almond
Does
butter
it have
brittle.
almond in it?
Maybe not.
I think it's brown
Butter.
brown butter
Brittle.
brown butter brittle. Say that
Brittle,
5
brittle,
times
brown.
fast. Brown butter brittle
Brown brittle. Brothers brown brittle. Bay.
Brothers Bear.
Brother Bear. Bay.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. That's the trio right there.
I haven't heard that Office phrase in a long time.
It's a great phrase.
I'm a person who should definitely do an Office trivia.
Oh, you should.
I did that. I watched that show so many times. Since
Same.
it came out, I started watching it like 15, 16 years ago. And
I had it running this morning, just in the background.
it's the
just on
best
the TV.
background show.
Yes.
That and Seinfeld, just like go to the background and you're set.
And like you just walk into the living room for a second, look at the screen,
And if you've
laugh
seen the
for a
show
second,
enough, I'll be
yeah.
like, episode 2, season, 2. It was like, you just know, like, oh yeah, Casino Night, episode 23, season 2.
I've never
part
got
1
to
or
that
part
point.
2. Oh, I've seen it so many times.
So I've never been able to name like just I guess anything with numbers, really. The episodes, the season, I just know like, oh, that's this episode and this happened in this episode.
Oh, I could tell. I
But
could tell by
couldn't
the fashion. I could tell by the production what season it is. Like that's how much I've seen a lot.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, because season 1 is so much different than like
It's a different building. They had to
6,
rebuild
8,
that whole
whatever.
area. It's
Yeah.
like not at all. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, season 1 was in a different location, different building.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
I'm a nerd
That's cool.
in every way.
Nerds are cool kids.
Wait, so you said ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think more like snack. Like trail mix, fruit snacks.
It used to be trail mix. So I'm going all off of what used to be. I don't know what it is now.
How about this favorite beverage? We'll go alcoholic first and then non-alcoholic.
So I never remember the names of like the drinks that I get.
You
Not
should do
because I
mixed
don't
drinks.
get drink or anything. I get cocktails and stuff, but I always try something different.
Okay.
Whatever sounds just random.
Well, we could simplify it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will say I do get Long Island's when I don't know what else to get. Long Island's the only one I can name. Like,
What's the liquor
easy.
in there? Is it tequila or vodka? Or rum?
Is gin, rum? I think it's all of that. I think it's all of that.
Take a little
really.
bit of everything.
Yeah.
No
'cause
wonder why
it's
people
like,
get messed up from
that's
those.
how I am, though. That's like, I can't. There's no specific things. I'll just take.
Do you like the clear liquors or the brown liquors?
I don't know. I drink
Do you like
whatever
bourbon?
sounds good. Yeah.
Some Manhattan
I
and
also
old
like-
fashions.
I've had those before. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
You're
but
like, I'm a little old fashioned. I go from Manhattan to Long Island. I don't know. Just I have a little bit of any name of the drink.
Long Island is the only one that I'll like request, but usually if I am looking at a menu, I'll just pick a random one that doesn't sound too sweet. That seems like it's probably like very herbal or whatever. I don't like juice. I don't like sweet stuff. So what was you about to say?
The way you pick drinks is so good. Like you're just looking like less sweet.
A little bit of herbal, need a little bit of spice.
No juice. And then the guy across the bar said, "You said no juice?" You're like, "No, I said juice." You're like, it's a whole thing.
It is. It really is. But the Long Island is my safe one.
Okay.
If I just don't feel like trying to find a cocktail, I'm just Long Island. Just
you don't like anything neat, no straight stuff.
Yeah. I've had it before.
Wine? You like wine?
It makes me tired. I do like wine, but it makes me tired.
Beer?
So, yeah, I like beer too. I don't have I could not name a single beer.
Not
if
even
somebody offered me a
like
beer, no.
Miller?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. If I think about it, yeah, but I just don't take the time
Goose
to
Island,
think about
Chicago,
it.
Goose Island?
Okay, yeah. So I've had all these things, but I just don't put in any effort when choosing a drink, except for I do avoid the sweet drinks.
Yeah.
I don't like.
That's a good idea. That's
stuff.
how you get a great headache. You don't.
Yeah. The sweet ones, yeah.
Yeah, because the sugar mixed with the alcohol, it's a headache and a stomach ache waiting to happen.
Have you ever had cut water?
Cut water.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that.
Really cheap. They're good,
Is
but
alcohol
after
or
a while,
non-alcohol?
it's alcohol. Alcoholic. In cans, 4 in a pack, $11. 7 to 12.5% alcohol content.
How many ounces is it?
I don't know.
12? 6? 11.5? Liter?
I don't know.
3.78 liters?
I don't know.
1 gallon?
Can't tell you. I mean, it's a regular
You were so specific at everything else but that. You're like, listen, 5% alcohol. All right, listen, that's what it's made out of. It's got this color. It's can. It's called.
It's like this big, or maybe a little bit bigger. My hands.
They're probably 12-ounce cans.
Yeah, no.
Smaller, little one.
Like a regular can.
12 ounces.
Is that 12? Okay, I don't know, but they are super strong and they're so sweet. And I don't like how it feels, like the hangover feels. I usually don't get bad hangovers. But with that, like it definitely, one can, you're good. It gets you there. But in the morning, you won't feel good because of all the sugar in it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Just stomach, head, just no.
You got to just drink the thing straight. If it's wine, it's wine. If it's beer, it's beer. If it's bourbon, it's bourbon. I like a good mixed drink here and there, but I kind of, like cocktail, but I kind of just stick with just straight stuff. That's it. Simple.
Yeah.
And non-alcoholic. I don't know. I like coconut water. It's probably my favorite non-alcoholic.
Coconut water. I like coconut water.
I drink it a lot. It's actually the best to drink when you're drinking alcohol. And I drink it anytime I drink, gotta have coconut water because it hydrates you so much.
Yeah. I haven't had coconut water in a while. You ever like cut open coconut and drink the water?
I had when I was little in Florida.
That
I was like
fun.
3. I don't remember it, but there's like a video.
Yeah.
So no.
No. Okay.
I need to do it.
It's cool. You can open a coconut, like a baby coconut with a butter knife.
No.
Done it. Just like scrape off the what is it?
Fur.
Yeah, whatever.
Hair.
Fur. The coconut fur, scrape it off until you get to that hard part. And then there's like 3 lines on the coconut, and you just jam the knife in that line and then pop it up. And I think I do it on each line though. I don't know. But that was fun. Yeah, coconut water is great. Other than that, I like lemon water.
Lemon water is great.
I don't drink enough water.
No?
So,
I do. I drink a lot. I drink like 10 of these a day.
Cheers to water real quick. Let's take a sip.
Chicago water.
Great. Yeah, I just look, I don't get that far. But when I have a straw and a lemon, I'm good.
Cucumber water is good.
I love cucumber
Mint
water. Mint water.
Cucumber, mint, lemon water.
What about mint and orange? It's good.
And water?
Try it, yes.
I've never done that.
It's good.
Mint orange water.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so I gotta have a little fruit in there or
No
something.
sodas.
I like ginger ale.
Ginger ale?
Yeah.
I don't really have soda. Kind of too much sugar for my liking.
I feel you. The only one is really just ginger ale. I don't usually buy I don't buy juice. I don't buy pop like that. So you say soda?
Yeah, I don't really drink soda.
Okay. I say
What do you
pop.
say? You say pop?
Pop.
I
yeah.
used to say pop. I grew up
Okay.
saying pop, but then I got like older and met more people, and I just got more
soda.
soda. It's just like
I just say pop. You know.
there are certain words I stopped saying, and I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete ugh. Like young me would be so mad, but it's like I can't help it. It's like meeting people from around the world, going to college, reading books. I started like not using certain slang I used to use, certain words. You just get exposed to stuff and you start to say things a different way.
Is pop slang?
No, I don't think pop is slang, but soda sounds more like
the actual word for it.
But I think pop and soda are synonymous around the country.
Yeah.
You know, I just think soda's like fancier. But pop comes out of me. If I'm with certain people I grew up with, I will say pop. Like, you guys got some pop? And then when I talk about it...
It's more casual.
It's more casual. But when I talk about it, as if I'm not drinking, but talk about the thing itself, I say soda. But if I went to a party and they're like, yeah, we're going to like pick up some pop from the store, I'd be like, my favorite pop is root beer. Give me some root beer, you know? I would. It ebbs and flows. It changes. But in this kind of conversation...
Say soda.
I say soda, and I never used to until only a couple of years ago, which is weird. Yeah, it was always pop.
Okay.
I love where this conversation is going. We just completely like, wait, what kind of snack? Pop? What's the energy?
I don't think I even answer. I guess I really don't know.
Favorite?
Cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
Boom.
Cool.
Homemade or just store-bought?
I used to... Homemade are the best, but right now it's been Toll House. Just pop it in the oven.
Okay, at least it's like halfway homemade. It's not like the stuff that's just sitting on a shelf.
Oh no, that's
I hate those.
Those are. I mean, they're good, but they're not real.
Like a
cookies.
Chips Ahoy that's like hard but not stale. You're like, what
I'll
is this?
Yeah,
what is this made out of? Just how long you been in the shelf
like
for?
if somebody like has them out. I don't know if I'm at an event or a party and they got the I'll grab a couple, but
because you just don't do it ever, so it's okay.
I won't eat the whole thing. Like I'll eat a whole batch of like Toll House or homemade cookies. You know?
Homemade cookies are hard to put down. I make a mean vegan homemade one and non-vegan one.
What type of cookie do you?
Chocolate chip, but it varies. I can do oatmeal. I could do white macadamia. Do the chocolate cookie with white chocolate in it, peanut butter. Snickerdoodle. But yeah, I grew up making homemade chocolate chip cookies a lot. My grandma made them, my mom made them, so it was my favorite thing. Made them for my friends. I was always making them for people. But then over the pandemic, I wanted to experiment. I tried doing more vegan stuff, and I made these amazing vegan cookies. The only problem is they're so expensive to make. Like 20 normal cookies. By normal, I mean like eggs and butter. And they're not gluten-free, will be like, I don't know, maybe like $8 to make 32 cookies.
What do you use for the, like I've once used like flax meal and...
For the vegan ones? So the vegan ones will be like $30 to make like 10.
Yeah.
They're so expensive. I do,
like for the yolk.
I do the oat. So the substitute, so I'll start with the dry ones first. I'll do an oat flour. And then I'll do almond flour, and then I'll do almond milk, which is kind of taking the substitute from I guess you say like the egg. And then I'll do coconut oil, which is kind of like the butter. And then baking soda, baking powder, sea salt. And then the coconut sugar is what makes it sweet instead of sugar, coconut sugar. And that's how you make it gluten-free, and then vegan because you're not using the eggs or butter. Mix it all up, and then to really top it off, what makes it really expensive, I buy like really nice raw like cacao from like Madagascar or Colombia or Ecuador, like usually within the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees either side, north or south of the equator. I'm getting nerdy here. And that's where coffee beans are great and cacao plants are great. And I think coffee and cacao are cousins because the best things I've ever tasted, the best nootropic I've ever gotten is like taking 100% raw chocolate, cacao, cutting a slice of it and like putting it on your tongue and then drinking a nice homemade coffee, like pour over coffee while it's on your tongue and have it melt. And
that sounds so good.
It's unbelievable.
That sounds amazing.
But when you do with that cookie, so you cut up the chocolate finely. It's 100% cacao, so it has no more sugar, and the sweetness you get in the cookie is going to be from that coconut sugar. The chocolate's just flavor. And a normal person who's used to eating an American diet, having sugars all the time and cookies and stuff like that, wouldn't like this cookie, probably. They'd probably find it a little not that good, not that sweet. But my palate is not like that. I don't eat sugar really ever. I don't have soda. I don't have a lot of sweets, so it works for me.
Yeah.
It'd work for a lot more adults. Kids probably wouldn't like it.
I would like that. That sounds really good.
It's very good.
I
It's
love
just a little
dark
expensive.
chocolate.
It's the
cacao.
darkest chocolate.
Cacao I like to put in my smoothies and my acai bowls and whatnot.
You make
But
your
yeah,
own
that
smoothies?
sounds.
You make your own smoothies? Nice,
I
me
used to
too.
work at this juicery smoothie acai bowl place. It was really good. The bowls were good and everything. But yeah, I make my own now, and it's probably, I would say that's my favorite dessert or favorite snack, but it's expensive, so I don't eat it that often. So yeah, acai bowls, smoothies would be my favorite.
I do smoothies like
finally
every
answer
day
that
for
question.
breakfast. Yeah, right. Full circle.
And cookies. I said cookies.
Cookies,
already,
smoothie bowls, whatever. Long Island iced teas and
lemon water.
lemon water.
Yeah.
Well,
Milkshakes.
no,
Why is it all coming back to me now? I love milkshakes too. So
you're naming like desserts though.
those are snacks.
I'm thinking
What
that's so American. What is desserts or snacks? Yeah. I think of snacks like, I got some cashews, dried apricots. That's such an old. I'm sounding like an old man. Hey kids, want some dried apricots and cashews? They're unsalted and unsweetened. Grandpa, you're a freak. Get out of here.
No, that cookie though, that sounds good. My signature cookie is chocolate oatmeal pecan raisin cookies.
That sounds great.
And I sometimes cook it with coconut oil instead of butter, and it's just perfect.
That sounds good.
Oh my gosh, I miss it. I haven't made it in forever. I'm not going to make it for a while though. It's a lot of work.
They're gonna say I'm gonna make that soon.
Yeah, I think it's because my kitchen is so small. I think once I move and have a bigger kitchen, I'm probably gonna cook and bake a lot more. Yeah, it's very narrow. It's narrow. I can't even try to. Yeah, I mean, tiny. Probably from that table to this table.
You share it with people, like a roommate or anything?
My partner.
Okay.
And yeah, it's
not cool.
It's just tight. I mean, we make it work, but it's not fun to stay in that kitchen and cook.
I know what you mean.
And there's not a lot of counter space. So.
You gotta have, my kitchen upstairs is it's decent. It's more open, so it's nice. Just, it does something, even though it could be the same square footage, but just having that open feeling.
You need that. Because mine's is my apartment kind of winds. It's cool. There's a room, and then there's a hall, and then there's the kitchen is like a hallway. That's how small it is. But at the same time, I do love my apartment. I do appreciate it. It's great for the gray days. How the weather was today. It's to sit in my apartment on days like this feels great.
Do you have windows and multiple angles and stuff? Is that
I only have north-facing windows. So it's great in my apartment as well. But the way that I've decorated and that both of our, me and my partner's furniture is put together, it just it fits.
Wait, you only have north-facing windows?
North in the living room and everything. And then I do have south-facing windows in the kitchen, though.
Okay.
And the office, which is a smaller room. So all my plants have to stay in there.
Okay, I was going to say, that sounds like torture. Only north? Because the sun is never north, ever. Yeah, we have we have big east, so the mornings are epic here. It is awesome. Just radiating. It's it makes my room hot, even in the winter.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. It's going to be brutal in July. Yeah. But no west windows, 0 west, which I do miss.
Yeah.
My old house, I had so many windows everywhere, so I miss that sunset look. It's kind of sad. And then a couple north, but they're north are useless in Chicago.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's good for the gray days, though. Yeah. For the rainy days.
Yeah, ambient light, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do miss west-facing windows. My old apartment had that.
We're so
and
old.
I will always see the sunset.
We're talking about window direction, orientation. Yeah. I got north windows. What do you have? That's where we've gone after 2.5 hours. All right, what kind of windows you got?
I like this conversation.
Are they north or south? Tell me.
Man,
East or west?
I do miss the west, though. But, yeah.
Ideally, you want all 4.
Yeah, that would be great.
You want some central. You want some windows up top.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
live in a glass box, but high up though, so people don't see your business. You know. So,
what does your business mean to you?
I mean, just everything. Like, if I want to walk around in my apartment just butt ass naked, like I could.
I had a feeling that's what your business meant, but everyone's got their own idea of what their business is. Mind your business. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, up in your business. Yeah. No,
But I also don't like for people to like. I don't want people looking into my apartment and place, seeing what I like.
what you have
Just
and
being
stuff, your things, or
well, that and also, I mean, I am with my partner now, but like being a woman, like living alone in an apartment, like you don't want anybody knowing that you live there.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. I've heard that women
I'd
are
rather live
different.
on the top floor.
They're different when it comes to everything.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
it's
like,
not
what
a
do you
lot
do?
of.
I'm like, oh, I go walking out there. Like, you walk at night? I'm like, yeah, I walk at night. You don't? You're like, no. No, I don't.
Can't really do that.
Now, if I can help it, I don't. I'm like, oh, I walk whenever I want, however I want, wherever I want. Like, I don't think about it at all. But I guess we can, before we end this wild conversation, to go full circle, because I'm aware that I'm in a place where I am significantly less to be messed with by anybody, being an average height man who's, in their 30s. I'm not a martial artist, but I'm certainly, I wouldn't want to mess with me. I don't know. I'm a little crazy. I might set your eyebrows on fire. I don't know.
Don't forget the eyelashes now.
But I don't worry about that stuff ever. Like, I just go wherever I walk, wherever I do whatever. So coming to realize how much of advantage, I guess you could say, or privilege, whatever word you want to use, that I have to be able to do that, I use that to try to help those who don't. Again, full circle to this podcast, to the fest, all the things, workshops. I do that workshop you guys did when I had the group of people here. It's like, I'm good. Like, I still have to work very hard to have what I have, but like, I can at least work hard and get stuff, and I'll get it, and no one's going to stop me. No one's ever going to stop me. And that's great. So because of that, it's like I use what I have to help others, and if that means I can go out into the world more easily, or even, I'm using walking as a metaphor, but I'm saying that's why I do what I do. I'm fully self-aware now of like, man, people really can't do this or that, or, like that workshop, like women don't really get exposure to like audio production. They're not that they're not interested. It's just such a boys' club, it's just hard to like get your foot in there without being like weirded out, embarrassed, hit on, you name it, So I try to just use everything I have to like lift up everyone. Well, I still have to stay alive and lift up myself, but yeah. But is there anything you want to share or add before we leave? Anything you want to promote, talk about? Any music? Your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Social Security number, anything?
So my Social Security. No. I would just tell people to stay tuned into what I'm doing next. And also listen to As I Am. It's a great song. Follow my Instagram, and...
What's the handle?
Iyana.Brown-Bey. At IYANA.BROWNBEY.
You had to say it before. Any other social media spots or just Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is fine. I'm not really on Facebook. I have one, but
it's every musician ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No TikTok?
No TikTok. I can't stand TikTok.
No?
Even though I do watch Reels on Instagram, and that's basically TikTok. But
yeah.
I can't stand TikTok though.
No. I only use it to promote like the clip that will be for this that goes on Instagram, goes on TikTok, goes on like Twitter, like all these things I have, they're all in a folder on my cell phone, and it's like whatever clip or photo I make for usually Instagram, I intend for that. I just copy and put it in everything. Like,
yeah.
I don't even look.
Yeah.
It just spreads stuff further. There's more people, and it works. I mean, there's more. You get more followers and stuff, but Yeah, it's definitely dangerous to be on those things. TikTok's rough. It's
Honestly,
a rough one.
I wish I didn't have to use social media.
I'm
don't
right
want
there
it.
with you.
I don't want it.
Me neither.
But kind of have to. And I mean, because I'm sometimes thinking about how, I needed to network with people. But most of my time spent on Instagram is not networking. It's scrolling.
Yeah.
And it's just like, can I just get rid of this? But oh no, what if somebody needs to contact me or I need to contact them?
It's true.
And never that.
You're not real unless you're on.
Sometimes. But
you're not. It's like people don't think you're real unless you're on it. So
yeah.
Follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Make it real.
You know?
Check out your music on all social medias and all streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Just stay tuned.
And spell out SolDial for people because it's a little interesting of a word.
SolDial.
We'll start that over.
SOL.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Start over.
So at SOL _DIAL _ SolDial. Well, that's the Instagram handle. It's just SolDial.
And you can find it on all streaming services.
Well, we are in the works of putting some music out there, so stay tuned.
So
tuned.
just go to Instagram and then stay tuned.
Yeah. Follow the SolDial page, follow Iyana Brown-Bey, and you're good. Just be patient with us. Stay tuned. We got you.
That was good. You looked into the eye. And you're like for the first time ever. Wait, there's a camera there. Cool.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to, or I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Thank you so much for this, Ben. This is awesome.
Anna. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to ask her. Don't want to offend her. And then you were like, don't talk about that anymore. No, it was really fun to talk with you and get to know you better. I'm happy for this opportunity. So thank you for coming out here and trusting this whole experience. It was fun.
Yeah.
And thank you for playing DZ Fest in the past. That was really great. I hope you enjoyed your time.
I did.
And thank you for playing here back in November. That was really fun. And I can't wait to work with you again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
And I got next.
Rock climbing.
Yeah. Okay. Rock climbing is coming up.
I'm gonna come do that.
We can probably do something like that next week.
Yeah, we do it. Yeah. We'll text about it. Now we'll text. Good.
Easy.
Now I know that Cleveland number is not a real or a telemarketer. I was like, I'm not answering. I literally looked at it. I was like, I don't answer my phone for anything.
I got you.
Because my phone is on the internet. My number is on Google because the business.
Okay.
So I get bombarded. So I don't answer.
Got you. That makes sense.
My thing is if they have a cell phone, they'll text me.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's the only way to weed out. But anyway, enough about me. Thank you for doing this, for being here. Check out your music and stay tuned for your music and all the good stuff. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Ciao. Bye, everybody.